One. Hi guys. Oh shit. Okay. Hi people. Let me fix stuff. Won't be long. We got sound? Somebody speak. Yeah, we got sound now. That's cool. We like sound. Okay. Yeah, welcome back to the Academy Shar. It's been a while. And today's the finale. Well, that's a weird one, isn't it? Today I have playing with me Kira, but he's fucked off to make dinner, so don't worry about him. He plays Zas. Zas is a necromancer who doesn't like all that much death, because he's desperately seeking a way to try and stay alive more than, like, a day. Music too loud compared to... Oh, shit. I did not know it was still playing me that music. Yeah, I shut that shit up now. Cool, you should all be able to hear me now. Right, let's start again. Today I have playing with me Kira. He's off making dinner. He plays Zas, a necromancer who's more interested in life and death, who's trying to keep himself alive, because he's going to die when he's 30, and that's sad. Boo-hoo. I also have playing with me Matt.
Hi, I am Matt. I am playing Ziggy, who is an illusion wizard forest gnome.
I have Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Bartholomew Moss, who is a human conjuration wizard.
I have Jamel.
Hey guys, Remel here. I'm playing Cadmus Golden Skin, Golden Dragonborn, Transmutation Wizard, and hopefully not due to die at 30.
Probably not. You're a Dragonborn. And I have Alora.
Hi, I'm Alora. I'm playing Aveltria, the half-elf evocation wizard.
Fantastic. And today is exam day. Isn't that exciting? We all love exams, don't we?
Great, we're all going to fail.
So, the first exam of your week, each of you have a different exam today. But I'm afraid Bartholomew is up first. Bartholomew, the first exam of the week is illusion. So please go ahead and prepare yourself for some illusion wizarding, as I try and remember which one of these bitches is the illusion. There we go. So, as sort of about 10 o'clock in the morning, and as two of your friends have gone into other exams and you have not, you stand queuing outside the illusion exam. After a couple of minutes, you see a halfling from House Camber come out. Tears streak down his face. He has an arcane focus that's a crystal ball that normally would be floating around him, but right now it's just sort of flopping down near the ground. He's got a massive burn mark down the side of his robe. His book that he was holding has papers just torn out of it and tattered. It looks like it couldn't have gone much worse. And as he walks past you, you realize that he has a pig's tail poking out the back of his robes.
As he walks past, I'll try not to, like, outwardly laugh. And then as he's fully walked past, I'll just be like, maybe next time, Pepper.
Oh my god.
And at this point, our friend Little Gnome pops his head around the door and... Bartholomew! Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be, Furlock.
Okay. He leads you into a small exam room. And he will, first of all, ask you if you will hold your arms out, as he must inspect you for any cheating devices. And he's not going to touch you. Instead, he takes out a monocle. Rolls his eyes all over you. Very good. Well, today I would like you to demonstrate the art of illusion. But before you do, I have a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind.
Sorry, did you already ask me one?
No, that was just him asking you if you're okay to answer a couple of questions.
I mean, I prefer not to, but sure.
Okay. Is it true that some powerful illusionists are capable of manifesting parts of their illusions as reality?
True.
Okay. And what happens to these real objects when the illusion dissipates?
Well,
If, for example, I
It would-
decided to manifest an illusion of a bridge, and I was able to manifest it as real enough for my companions to walk across it, when my illusion dissipates, would the bridge disappear with it?
yes.
Excellent.
True.
Okay. Don't doubt yourself, boy. Right. Have you a spell prepared to demonstrate your abilities today?
Yes.
Please. Do you need any props?
No, I don't think so.
The stage is yours.
Okay, so I'll kind of I'll walk to in his classroom. There's a bit of a stage at the front, right? That he.
Oh, I'm really sorry. We're not in the classroom, although we could have been if you wanted to be. But when he said you need any props, it's because you're in a testing room. So there's a small. It's a square room, approximately 10 by 10 foot, probably not much bigger than the room you're currently sat in. There's a bookshelf on the wall and a chest, and other than that, the room is empty.
Okay, so I guess I'll just stand in the middle then. And I'll just like roll my neck and like shake out my limbs a bit. And then as I shake, like I'll specifically start shaking one side, and a copy of myself will appear next to me, and then I'll shake out the other side, and another copy of myself will appear, and then I'll step backwards, and a form of myself will stay there, and that is me casting mirror image. And then all four of us will say at the same time, "Hi, Furlock."
He looks at you and... Excellent. Most interesting. I will grade you an E. E is for exquisite. It is the top grade. You have exquisite, brilliant, tolerable, questionable, and oof. No, you don't really. I made up the oof on the spot. In a U for useless, I'm afraid. So that's your grading. I'll put those in chat just in case anybody has immediately forgotten. Those are your 5 grades. Excellent, exquisite, brilliant, tolerable, questionable, useless. But as your illusion exam is over, you are able to head to your... I nearly said transfiguration. That'd have been pretty cool, wouldn't it? You're able to head to your transmutation exam. Speaking of transmutation, what's your character's name? Cadmus. It's time for your illusion test.
Illusion.
As
right.
you arrive outside the door, you see Bartholomew coming out with a smile on his face. Bartholomew, 3 copies of Bartholomew follow him out the door. 4 copies? 3
Oh.
copies? 4 copies, right?
And then as the last one walks past him, it winks at him.
Excellent.
Damn, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Furlock will look outside and... Oh, Cadmus, you ready?
As ready as I guess I'll ever be.
That's it, I do love a bit of confidence.
Oh, it's not my school of magic, really. It's not my forte.
Well, perhaps a mistake you've made there, but all schools of magic should be at least somewhat managed within the class, you know? Every school of magic has its benefits. Regardless, I'd
Sure.
like to ask you a couple of questions about illusion, if I may.
Fire away.
The illusion school allows you to manifest multiple versions of yourself. When you do this, can they act independently of the owner?
That's an excellent question.
Why, thank you.
I believe they can.
Hmm.
It's the sort of thing that I think would take some quite powerful control. It's a lot easier to create illusions which just mimic actions that you've already taken.
Indeed. Secondarily, when creating a minor illusion, an illusion that can be manifested at will, is it possible to have it create both an image and a sound simultaneously?
Ooh, good question. I don't think so.
Perhaps you should spend more time with your friend DC. Some illusionists can. Nevertheless.
Some can, I see. Well,
I see you are
can't.
judging. Yes, indeed, you are judging many others by your own powers. Regardless, have you prepared a spell for us today?
Yes, I have.
Well, please. Do you need any props?
No, I shouldn't need any props.
Excellent. Well, if you would please demonstrate for us.
I shall place my hands together, just stand there for a moment, and take 3 steps backwards. A perfect replica image of myself stands in place in front of me. As I will turn, I will begin walking. And shortly after, on a delay, this copy of myself will follow all of my exact movements, walking in exactly the same way, following my path.
He gives you a small clap, and excellent, that's one of my favourites. Well, thank you.
That one was silent image, by the way. It was just following me.
Thank you, Cadmus, for your time. I'm afraid that is a T, but better luck next time. And unfortunately, you answered both questions incorrectly. Well, one was sort of incorrectly, and one was completely incorrectly. So, yeah, that'll be you off to your next exam. And we resume with Aveltria. Aveltria, it is time for your necromancy class. I'm gonna have to get the right one. Nope. Yep. Got it. As you arrive at the necromancy class, you have the wonderful fortune to encounter Matthias Lagon coming out. Got a smug look on his face, and he sort of looks you up and down. Best of luck. You're gonna need it.
I'm just gonna smirk and walk by him.
After a couple of minutes, you see Layla pop her head round the side, and you can see she's looking a bit frustrated, possibly even a bit angry. And when she sees you, her face softens. Veltria, please, come in.
Everything all right?
She sort of motions to what is a skull on the ground that looks like it may have been attached to the skeleton that's the other side of the room. Some people have a different impression of necromancy than I. Nevertheless, I have a couple of questions if you don't mind.
Sure.
In the casting of a necromantic spell, life energy is manipulated. Can your own energy be expended to power these spells?
I don't know that it's something that I'm capable of. Wouldn't surprise me if the others could, such as my friend Zas.
Indeed. Excellent. And secondly, if you were into the art of conjuring those back from death, a nasty art as it is it easier or harder to control more intelligent undead beasts? The more intelligent the undead, does it make it more difficult or easier to control them?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know.
Very well. Have you prepared a spell for me today, Veltria?
Well, here's hoping.
Don't worry too much, girl. Go on.
Okay. I'm going to go through the motions here, even though I don't have the required thing that I would need.
Do you need a prop? It can be provided.
It's not exactly prop.
She looks at you. Do you need a live subject?
No.
Ah. Well, go ahead. I'm sure I'll do my best to understand. I have no idea what you want, so I don't know how to help you.
I'm going to kneel down. I'm going to raise both my hands up in the air, and there will be warm light that's like firelight, except there's no fire. And I'm going to bring it down, center over a point, as if I was over somebody, and I'm going to cast Revivify.
Yes, okay. She takes a look, and would you mind repeating that for me? And with that, she sort of clicks her fingers, and a dead lamb will appear upon the floor in front of you.
I will repeat the motions.
Okay, cool. Give me an Arcana check, please.
22.
Ooh. And as you do this, the lamb sort of raises to its feet and begins to sort of saunter around, and she goes, "Ah, look, necromancy, bringing life instead of removing it. What a pleasure you are to work with compared to that imbecile we had earlier. I'm afraid I can't give you an E, as you did not know the answer to one of my questions. Intelligent undead are indeed harder to control than less intelligent undead. Nevertheless, a B. Excellent work, Veltria. And thank you for such a rousing performance. I guess you better be on. Another exam is in question, is it not?"
Yes, I believe so.
And with that, we come over to DC. DC, you're outside your conjuration class. Getting ready to head in. No, that's not what I was trying to do. Turned you down instead of the music. Fantastic. And as you arrive outside the conjuration class, you see a young man running down the corridor, being hit repetitively over the head by a broomstick. Nevertheless, after a minute or two, you are gestured to come in by Elgon, who sort of leans out and, "Come on in, DC." Or Ziggy, I suppose he would call you. "Come on in, Ziggy.
Hello.
How are you today,
I'm
man?"
here. I'm doing fantastic. I'm going to ace my test.
Good. Good. That's what we like to hear. Self-confidence is important. Now, I have a question for you, if I may. Is it possible to conjure an item full of a liquid? Or is that two
Yes,
separate spells?
it is possible. Can I do it? No.
Honest? Very well. In summoning a creature, if you find that your concentration breaks, what happens?
The creature disappears.
Oh, Ziggy. Do you have a spell prepared for us today, Ziggy?
I have multiple.
Oh, I look forward to seeing this. Please, go ahead.
I'm going to go into the middle of the room,
Mhm.
and you're going to see my summon chair appear, and I'm just going to sit down. I would really like a glass of water right now, but I don't want to get up. So I'm going to use a floating disc while I'm sitting down to go off somewhere and have someone, hopefully, if there's like, I'm gonna have to go to like the bar, because you can go up to like 500 feet away, I believe.
As you say, I'd really like a glass of water. He will conjure a small water fountain in the corner,
All right.
just so you can go up to it and use it.
All right. So my floating disc is gonna go over and.
Oh, I see your
I can't do that actually. I
what
need
can you
a person there to put it on the disc.
do?
Excuse me, Professor. Can you go over there and put it on the disc for me?
With this, he sort of notices your problem and lets out a little laugh. And with a gesture from his hand, a mage hand will deliver the water to your
And then
disc.
I'm gonna move the disc towards me,
Mhm.
but the disc cannot move within 20 feet of me. And then next, I'm going to summon my servant, and my servant's gonna go get the water and bring it to me.
Brilliant. He looks at you and
I am now quenched.
an excellent. I am quenched. He looks at you and I am Elgon, and that was an excellent performance. Unfortunately, due to your incorrect answer, I can only give you a B. However, you are right that in a lot of circumstances, the creature summoned would disappear. However, in higher level summons, the creature would lose control and attack wildly.
That would be scary.
It is possible to conjure both an item and liquid within it, but only with many, many years of practice. Nevertheless, thank you very much for your performance, Ziggy, and good luck in the rest of your exams.
Thank you, Professor.
Bartholomew, at this point, you arrive at your transmutation exam. Comes to me to find our transmutation teacher. There you go. It is Grace, right? I haven't got that wrong. Have I got that wrong? I can't remember.
It's right.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And as you arrive there, there is nobody waiting outside. And a small mouth on the door yells, "Next student, please!"
I will walk in.
She looks up at you. Name?
Bartholomew Moss.
Good. In the art of transmutation, is it possible to turn iron into gold?
Yes.
Very good. Name one property of a transmuter's stone. I don't think I could answer this question, to be fair.
Great, then can I get another one?
No. Nope.
A property of a transmuter's stone.
Mm-hmm.
That it's a solid.
She looks at you. Excellent. Now, have you prepared a spell for me today?
I have.
Please go.
But I will need a practice dummy. I don't want to destroy the room.
Very well. And with that, she just sort of gestures, and rising out of the ground is a large sort of archery target with a face and 2 legs and 2 arms.
And can I also have a cannonball that weighs 5 pounds or less?
A small rock will form out of the ground, and she will hand it to you.
Okay. So I'm gonna summon my staff,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna point it down to where the rock is on the floor, and then some dark blue kind of sparkly mist will like travel in front of the rock, and then kind of form this 4-foot cyclops, and the cyclops will pick up the rock and like launch it at the target. The target needs to make a dexterity save.
It will not. However, as the ball crashes into the target, she will reach out and negligently wave her hand, and the ball will transform into a feather. And she looks at you. A good performance. And you clearly think swiftly when unsure in the moment. I am afraid I can only give you a B, as the transmuter stone's properties do not specify that it must be solid. Nevertheless, I'm sure it is. You did well. That's all of you. Good luck on your next.
To be honest, I was more worried that catapult's not really like a transmutation spell.
I'm pretty sure it is a transmutation
No,
spell.
it is one, but it's not really something you think of when you think.
I
of-
know.
No, indeed, but it is an excellent transmutation
So I
spell.
will take the B, but I'm annoyed at the question.
Cool. Veltria, you are rock up at divination. And you see coming out of the class Heta sobbing.
Hetta?
I
You okay?
No, I predicted her death. I didn't mean to. I got my words mixed up. I told her she was gonna die last Tuesday. It didn't go well.
Maybe you're seeing an alternate reality.
Or maybe I can't see shit in the bottom of a damn cup of tea.
Yeah, no, that's also possible.
I need to pass these exams. I need to keep my scholarship. I can't afford to pay for next year. I think of my father. I can only hope that even he will see that the arts of divination are fucking futile. With this, you see Karina's head just outside the door. She sort of hears this last comment. Heta? Heta sort of turns around and gives her this violent look like she might actually kill her. And Karina turns around and... You'll be interested to know that you are allowed to fail 2 subjects and still continue your scholarship into the next year. I would tell you that I've seen it come to pass, but I couldn't see anything in that teacup either. Best of luck in your next exam. And Heta just lets out this sort of horrible snort, and tears are just running down her face, and she looks a complete wreck, and she turns to you and, thanks, Aviltria. I'm gonna make a sandwich. She sort of scuffles down the hall. Karina turns to you. Veltria, would you care to join me?
Oh, my pleasure.
She looks at you. You don't think much of the arts of divination, do you?
I don't like what I see.
Be that as it may, it is a gift or knowledge. There are many seers of old who used various devices to focus their visions. Can you name one of these? Not the seer, the device.
Perhaps a crystal ball?
The most exquisite and powerful, and the prop that you will be using today. And with that, she sort of pulls away a silken cloth. Please, look in, tell me what you see.
I see darkness.
Darkness. Can you make out any details?
A few. I was there not long ago.
Oh no. Can you give me an example of a detail?
There's a large metal object spinning rings around.
A troublesome time for us all. With that, she sort of pushes the cloth over the crystal ball, cutting off your vision. Well, it is the art of divination that it doesn't give us pleasant visions just because it's a test. Nevertheless, you of course passed with flying colours of Eltria. Take an E, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day off. You do excellently in the evocation exam tomorrow, by the way. And she gives you a wink.
Of course I do.
And with that, you may leave. And we come to Zas. Zas, you have your first exam of the day.
Yes.
And your first exam is evocation. As you arrive outside the evocation class, you notice that the door that is open appears to be singed on the inside. As you sort of look around, you can smell slight burning in the air, but there is no student inside. And you hear a voice come from inside. Please enter.
I will do so.
As you get in, you see Hadras looking at you. I have a question for you.
Yes, Professor.
When creating a flaming ball of fire, is it possible to make exceptions for people at the center?
Yes.
Interesting. It is possible to create a perfect sanctuary using the arts of evocation. Must you concentrate to keep this in place?
Yes.
Excellent. Have you prepared an evocation spell for me today?
I did. You're muted, Professor.
Do you need any props?
No, I should have everything in my bag.
Excellent. Please continue.
So I will draw from my bag. The powdered gemstones on to cast chromatic orb.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if anything was going on. Is there like a dummy or something around? Actually,
As you sort of think that, he will sort of gesture with his hand, and a large stone podium with a sort of circular target on the top will appear.
so I will take the gemstone dust, and then close it in my palms before I just expand my hands outwards, and the it'll be like multiple color array. It's like a sort of like the usual drawing representation of a molecule, before a green streak of energy flies outwards. So I guess I'm going to hit here.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't need to roll to hit. You just need to describe
Okay.
as it hits.
Okay, yeah. So as it does, it strikes across, strikes the pedestal. It will then begin to melt it as I've used the acid damage of chromatic orb.
He looks at you. Excellent. That is an E. Congratulations. If you missed the marking system from earlier, it's exquisite, brilliant, tolerable, questionable, useless.
Got it.
So E is top marks.
And oof.
I was only joking. But yeah, so as you leave,
Thank you, Professor.
you too. Cadmus, you arrive at your abjuration exam.
Abjuration. Okay.
Yep, where's my little dwarf? Dwarf man, where are you? Correct? Yes. Good. And Cadmus, you arrive to an empty room. With an open door. After a moment, Gallus sort of wanders down the corridor and... Hey, good morning. Come on, in we go.
Good morning.
Sorry I'm late. There's been a bit of a disaster upstairs in one of the other exam rooms. Nevertheless,
Oh, is everything okay?
the student in question may recover. Nevertheless, I have a couple of questions for you. Is it possible to interrupt another spell cast while they are casting?
Absolutely, is it?
And in the case that you attempt this, is it possible for them to prevent you from preventing them from casting?
I will say with the caveat at least, if they're casting a powerful spell, it may not be possible for you to counteract it.
Indeed. And if, say, for hypothesis' sake, somebody tried to interrupt you casting a spell and you tried to interrupt them interrupting you casting a spell, and a third person came along and attempted to interrupt your interrupting their interrupting casting a spell, and then he should just let out a smile. And did you prepare a spell for me today, Cadmus?
I did indeed, and as for complicated interrupt chains, we could consider them as a stack, yes?
Who will ever know? Nevertheless, please, do you need any props to demonstrate your magic today?
Yourself.
Excellent. And what exactly would you like me to do?
Please, go right ahead and cast a spell, a gentle one.
He waves his hand, and this sort of mythical hammer slowly
And I will
swings
immediately
towards you.
counterspell the thing. Much like you were saying about counter spells and countering spells, that is something I did indeed learn very recently. And for another prop, if you may, could you please, if you may, conjure up some flame?
Before he does, I will need an Arcana check out of you, please.
An Arcana check.
If anybody can discern the pattern to these Arcana checks, then I
19.
think props will be given. Excellent. That's very good.
And as in response to his flame, what I shall do is I shall cast a glowing barrier over myself. This one will be tinted particularly red, and I will plunge my hand into the flame, and it shall do significantly less harm to me than it otherwise
Take
should.
half of 1d8 damage, but
Yeah, and I'll
nevertheless.
just pull my hand back and that
yeah.
did sting a little.
Indeed. The
But
elements
yes,
can never truly be
abjuration is the
completely
magic
absorbed.
of abjuration is the magic of protection, and in some cases prevention and control. Much like you say, counterspell being controlling another person's ability to bring harm upon yourself.
Indeed.
It's not my school of magic, but it's one that does interest me still.
Good, and so it should. And as you have exceeded expectations in many different ways, that is an exquisite. Excellent marks. And thank you very much,
Fantastic,
Cadmus.
thank
Good
you,
luck on the rest of
yes.
your exams. DC. At this point, you arrive to see a Veltria exiting the divination exam.
Hello, Veltria. How did it go?
Well, I did well. It's divination. If you make it up, I think you might succeed.
I think I will do great.
I'm sure you will.
As you, Ziggy, as you step forward, Karina sort of sends a message outside into your mind. Please, come in.
I will walk right in. Giant
She's-
smile and I'll wave.
She sits before a large pool of scrying water. She looks pensive and looks up at you. DC, Ziggy here. Join me, take a seat. Look into the water. Tell me, what do you see?
I see fog. And behind the fog, I can see the slight image of my old friend Brierson. I don't know if you remember him, but you and all the other teachers let him get killed, so good job.
Yes. It was a failure on all of our parts. You can leave. Instantly. She's shaking her head to herself as you walk away. As you get close to the door, she calls back to you. Ziggy.
Yes.
What do you know of the Moon Elves?
Where are my notes? Fuck. I know that there is one left, and she left her memories all over the place, and I was in her memories, and she protected me from dying. And then there was someone else in those memories who talked to us
This is true.
and told us what we need to do to help the Moon Elves.
Recent knowledge of the Moon Elves is fascinating indeed. They didn't tell you anything about your fate, did they?
No.
Very well. Please, go ahead and enjoy your evening. I'll see you soon.
But wait,
Yes?
you didn't tell me my grade.
She gave you an E.
Fantastic.
She said you can leave, that's an E. And then she called you back.
I'll walk
Very
out.
good. At this moment, Zas, you are able to arrive for your enchantment exam. And as you do so, you see Cassandra standing outside with a smug smile on... Fucking hell, that's a sentence. With a smug smile on her face. There's Vanya. She looks over to you and... Hey, how's it going?
It's fine.
Tell you what, that exam is, a lot easier than the others. You'll enjoy it. Good luck, Zaz.
Thank you.
And then a small pink light appears at the edge of the door, forms into a mouth, and... Come in, Zaz.
I'll walk forward.
Vanya's inside, and she's sat in a really squishy, large armchair. And there's another one opposite her, and she gestures for you to take a seat. She looks at you. Tell me a joke, Zaz.
I'll take a seat. A joke.
It's important, is it not, when using enchantment magic to be charming? Well, so I would think. Tell me a joke.
I spilled spot remover on my dog, and now he's gone.
Oh dear. she looks at you. That's brilliant. She looks at you. That's brilliant. Did I tell you about the Asimar with no wings?
Please do.
He fell. With that,
I see.
she looks at you. Do you have a spell prepared today for me, Zaz?
Oh shit, do I?
You can change what you've got prepared between
I do.
exams. Excellent. Please, go ahead and demonstrate. You need a subject. You can use me. If you need a prop, please ask.
Please, try to hit me.
Try to hit you.
Yes, with a spell.
She considers for a moment, and she sends a small pink love heart towards you.
I don't know if this will work. I'll cast silvery barbs.
And as she's halfway through getting it to you, she stops for a moment, looks a bit distracted up at the sky. Then it floats off in a different direction. You can see yourself surrounded by a little bit of pink magic, and she looks at you. Excellent, an unusual choice, but a worthy one, a useful spell as well. Very good. Just a quick question, if I may.
Yes.
Enchantment is a spell used primarily to affect other people's minds. Is that true?
Yes. Suggestion, mass suggestion, yes.
Usually when you affect somebody else's mind, are they aware of the process?
Depends on the spell.
Indeed. But it does. Thank you very much. And have a good day, Zas. That's an E.
Thank you.
Exquisite.
Thank you, Professor.
And an excellent joke.
Thank you.
As you come out, you see Cassandra's sort of eating an apple outside. Did you get through?
Somehow, yes. The hardest part of the test was the joke.
Joke? She looks at you. What joke?
You didn't have to tell a joke?
No, I had to tell her how I would respond if she told me that she'd lost her sister. I said I'd cast Detect Life. Apparently it wasn't the right answer, but she found it funny. So I guess I told her a joke. I didn't mean to. Maybe that's why you had to tell her a joke. I don't know, but Anya's weird, isn't she?
Yes, quite.
Should we get back to the common room?
Yes, but please don't speak ill of our teachers.
At this point, Veltria, you have one more exam for the day. And you arrive outside the conjuration class. Inside, Elgon is there, and he calls out, "Come on in, it's the last student for the day." And try and avoid the mess. As you step in, you see what appears to be a giant weight, almost like a bell, but solid in shape. And at the very edge is a little bit of blood and a toe. And he sort of notices you looking, and he moves his hand and cleans up the floor a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted today. Veltria, do you have a spell prepared?
Yeah, should that be on ice or something?
There isn't. Don't worry about it, please. Go ahead and demonstrate.
Very concerned about the safety of this school. I'm just gonna stand in the middle of the room, and I'm going to summon Mage Chain on myself, effectively restraining. And then I'm going to snap my fingers, and I'm going to Misty Step out of them.
He looks at you and... A great performance, and you can see there's a relief on his face. If you summon a heavy object above your head, what happens, Veltria?
You either dive out of the way, or take a nasty bump.
He looks over at the heavy weight upon the floor. I'm glad you chose something a bit more sensible. Exquisite. Thank you. Good luck with the rest of your exams.
I'm just walking out, my mind's going, what the heck, did somebody else just fucking die?
As you get back to the common room, you hear the chatter as Heta is telling a story secondhand that she heard from another teacher. A student named Sarah of the house Hadrian summoned a large weight in a room too small, far above her head. Unfortunately, Elgon was unable to react in time. She crushed herself to death. And Heta tells this story, and after a short while, she can't help but break into a little smile. I thought I failed my divination exam. Even I didn't fuck up that bad. And then she starts to cry and walks away. Leaving you all to discuss this freely. Or not. Whatever it be. Hand over to you guys.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
Who governs this place?
I mean, sure, I get accidents happen, but Excuse me, what?
That... This shouldn't happen.
Does
Ever.
anyone know the ratio of students that begin school here and students that survive to leave?
Cassandra turns around to you. 4 students died in last year's exams.
Excuse me, what the fuck? Does this place have safety?
One spontaneously blew themselves up. One teleported into a realm that nobody ever found them in. So I suppose he might not be dead.
Oh, teleported into a realm that... What?
One conjured a fire element that went loose and nearly killed the teacher as well as themselves. And
Jesus Christ, how the fuck?
the other attempted a spell far beyond their ability and spontaneously combusted.
Summoned a fire elemental.
Yeah.
Fire elemental nearly killed the teacher. The teacher.
Oh.
Am I there?
Yeah, you're all there.
What?
Well, you should always know your limits.
Yeah, we should be taught our limits. I feel like we've gone through this exam with one class. I don't know why I feel that way. I just do.
You should have spent more time practicing with me. As they should have as well.
You can't blame this on students, Zass.
Why
It's
not?
absurd.
They casted the spell.
But they could
There should
only
be
do what their teachers showed them.
What about Brierson? The teachers let him to die.
I will also agree somewhat here. There should be more safety with regards to actually not having dead people.
I'll summon
what
my
if-
unseen servant, and I'll open my book and start reading.
What if the teachers here are all secretly evil?
Or
Don't-
incompetent.
I have a saying for this. Don't attribute malice to what could be attributed to stupidity. I guess
We should
he's
plan a revolt.
not the smartest with safe. That's the most charitable thing I can say.
It's like somebody doesn't want wizard students to succeed.
I don't think I can agree, considering that we still have exams that we can actually pass. If we couldn't pass them, then it would be very clear that they don't want people to succeed.
Cassandra looks to you and maybe it's just none of us are stupid enough to do something so dangerous. Also incompetent.
Precisely.
Then why take the wizard in the first place?
Well, maybe
guess
up
he-
until the day she summoned something heavy above her own head. And how stupid do you have to be to do that?
why
Clara was a
didn't
great
they-
wizard.
Well, then why didn't the teacher counterspell it?
Well, you can't counterspell something you don't know what
Or
you're
dispel
counterspelling.
it? They could just.
Perhaps, but
That's
before
a
it's
bad
crushed
teacher.
her? I don't know.
I'll push them out the way. I feel like the teacher could have done more.
Perhaps, but we weren't there. But were we?
Honestly,
What would we know?
if you don't
There
know
should
your own
be-
limits,
There should be protections in place, in like wardings, and this is a magic school
There are plenty of wardings in place, but can't protect you from
that
yourself.
didn't protect a student from casting a spell that was gonna kill her.
you know, most people out in the world aren't protected.
It's true,
This
but this is a
isn't
place
out
where
in
you
the world.
learn to become competent enough to not do such a thing that would kill yourself as well.
It is a creative way to die, though, no? What kind of warding would you put in place for that?
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, you're right, it's very creative, and it's probably the most fantastic Darwin Award anyone has ever received, but...
Who's Darwin?
Yeah, I would like to know as well. Is he someone I should study?
He's someone in one of the books. I'm sure you must have read it. Surely you've read the books.
Cassandra looks to
Probably.
you
You
and
read so many books, ass.
they're a waste of time, Zas. And they're a list of people who are as stupid as Sarah was. But as I was saying, you can only ward against certain things, you know? They've put wards in place for people trying to cast spells too difficult for themselves now. And the fire elemental shouldn't be castable by a first-year student. What kind of wards were expected to be in place? I think that the students are
That's
to
a good
blame.
point. How the hell did they even summon a fire elemental? How?
Apparently reading forbidden spellbooks from the restricted section of the library.
Arms have reached their grasp.
Clearly not that restricted then.
Yeah, it seems like the restricted section needs a little bit more security.
Mm.
There's a common word that comes up here: security.
Rumors
Regardless,
are,
we're not finished with our exams.
That's true.
rumors are the fire elemental spell was a cruel trick by a senior.
Oh.
Who taught the first year the spell and then let them go to their own death. Anyway, beyond the politics of things, I'm going to get some rest. Got illusion in the morning.
That's a good idea.
Better study a bit more.
Do I study as well, or do I rest first?
It's about 8:30 in the evening.
Yeah, I'll give it an hour or so of studying and get some rest. To hell with it.
Heather looks around. Is anybody doing anything interesting before the end of the night?
Not about as interesting as study gets.
What are my exams for tomorrow?
Abjuration and transmutation.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put my feet up, sit on the couch, summon Eclipse, and just sit, give him extra.
Fantastic. Remind me how Eclipse looks.
As a red and black fox.
Ah, yes. I remember now. Very good. And we'll skip forward to the morning. And start with Bartholomew. Bartholomew, you've got a very early exam in divination. As you arrive at the exam hall, Karina is actually standing outside the room, and she looks to you and, Bartholomew, excellent, you're my first student today. Come on in.
Morning, Professor. I'll walk in.
As you do so, you notice that there is a crystal ball shattered all over the room. Karina goes, what on earth? She begins to cast mending to put it all back together. But it was my favorite one. Why? What happened? How annoying. Right, well in that case, she finishes draining her tea and she places it on the table in front of you. Tell me what you can see in the tea leaves.
I'll take up the cup and kind of like turn it to one side and then another. And then I'll start saying, I see Ziggy. He's on a stage, but he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down, and now the whole crowd's booing so loud. He opened his mouth, but the words just won't come out. He's choking now. Everybody's joking now. The clock's run out. Time's up. Over. Wow! And then I'll drop the cup on the floor.
She looks at you and... Snap back to reality, boy!
Then as the cup lands, I'll say, oh, there goes gravity.
Fantastic. And she looks at you and says, right. The arts of divination. It's possible to see into the future. Can this ability be bestowed upon somebody else? By magic? Can you, for example, if you were trained in the art, bestow the ability to see into the future upon someone else?
Yes.
Don't sound so unsure, Bartholomew. That's an E. Exquisite. Excellent work. I hope that Ziggy isn't too embarrassed when he forgets his words on stage. And, best of luck in your next exam, bud.
Thank you, Professor.
No problem. Speaking of which, Ziggy, you have a evocation exam.
Fantastic.
Okay, as you arrive, you see Hadras in the corridor. Good morning, Ziggy. Come through.
Good morning, Hadras.
As you go into the exam room, he conjures up a small dummy on the other side of the room. You have a spell prepared for me.
Yes, but a dummy will not do the trick. I need a volunteer. A fellow student, perhaps?
He gestures, and a confused-looking man in his 40s with a large beer belly turns around and, "Can I help you?" Hadras looks at you. "Does he need to be able to speak?"
No.
Good. And he gestures with his hand, and the man's mouth sews itself shut. "Please, continue."
All right. I need you to do everything I say, mister. I need you to turn around with your back to me.
The man turns around with his back to you, looking
And
very confused.
I need you to start thinking about your worst, biggest, deepest fear. You see, Professor, I have distracted him, which means I get advantage on my attack to hit. And I'm going to use Guiding Bolt at 3rd level on him.
Okay. And as your bolt strikes him, you notice it hits a crystalline veneer over his skin. And Hadras waves his hand, and the man disappears. And he looks
No,
at you.
I'm not done. Bring him back now.
And he waves again, and the man appears with a slight bolt of light in his back, looking slightly pained. His mouth still sewn shut. He looks over at you.
You see, I hurt him, but now I can heal him, and I'm going to use Aura of Vitality on him, which heals 2d6.
He rubs his back as it looks like it was hurt. And there's... Hadras looks at you. An excellent demonstration. Can I get rid of the idiot?
Yes, you can.
He waves, and the man just becomes really, really small and then disappears into non-existence. I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
Do you?
Maybe.
It is possible to control flames at will. To maneuver them and manipulate them.
I know the Control Flame spell.
Do you? Can you
I
tell
think
me,
so, actually.
Can you change the color of a flame that you can see?
Some can.
Indeed. Excellent. That is an E. Exquisite performance, Siggy. Best of luck in your next exam.
Thank you.
Cadmus.
Yes.
You arrive at your illusion exam. And Furlock steps out. He's sipping a champagne flute full of purple liquid, where the bubbles are floating downwards towards the bottom of the glass. Takes a sip and lets out a little hiccup, followed by a small little tune. He nods to you and, "Good morning, Cadmus. Come on in."
What on earth do you have there? That's
Upside down wine. It's not finished. Don't worry about it. It doesn't taste right yet. We'll get there. But when I do,
That's-
you can find out about it.
incredibly interesting. How?
Years of development, alchemy, potion development, and a lot of
Okay.
strange friends.
That's remarkable.
Nevertheless, today I require you to perform a spell for me, and to answer a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
I can give it a shot.
Indeed. That is the best you can do, and all that we can ask.
Sorry, which class is this one again? Just a question for
Illusion.
DM. Illusion. Didn't I already do this one? Silent image.
I'm really sorry, you are the wrong student. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It is...
I'm sorry, Professor. I've already done this exam. Is your memory faltering you? Sir?
You're right, it's Aveltria.
I think
who
there might
needs
be a
to do
spell for that.
illusion. You are required in your necromancy exam. Aveltria, please retcon everything I've just said and then repeat it all to yourself. He will sip his upside-down wine and say, "Aveltria, please, come on in. I have a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind."
Of course, Professor. Which class is this? Prologue?
Illusion.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I've got you two upside down, literally. And he looks at you, and occasionally it is possible to cast a spell that might summon a mouth or deliver a message. But strangely, in the world of the arcane, there is a limit to how many words this message can contain. Do you know how many? You should know
I know
this.
there are some
critical
spells where you
role.
can send certain messages.
How
I know
many
there's a limit
words?
of some that are 25 words.
He looks at you. Excellent, excellent. A difficult question. Very impressed. Good work. And with that, he said, is it possible to determine an illusion without touching it?
If you have a discerning eye.
Indeed. Do you have a discerning eye, Vulture?
Depends on how good the illusion is.
Excellent. And then he will turn to you and... Do you have a spell prepared for me?
Yeah.
Please, go ahead and demonstrate.
I'm going to create a silent image of the ball of light that we faced in the caverns.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put my hand on my shoulder, cast Disguise Self, so that I look like Brierson. And then I'm going to just throw a fireball straight through the silent image, just have it shatter, and just stand there for a minute, the victorious Brierson, before I let it drop.
If only it played out that way. It seems to me the
Should
school
have.
gets more dangerous and makes more mistakes every year I'm here. Magic should be fun, but it should be measured. People should be taught better before mistakes are made. And care should be taken. We shouldn't be pushing our students to achieve as much as possible, but instead to achieve what they can safely. Bryson should have exams today, but he doesn't.
Agree with you more.
I think I'm going to give everybody an E today. But you deserved yours. Exquisite, Vilch. Have a good day. Here. Taste this for me. And he leans over to a cupboard and he brings out a bottle of bright pink liquid. And he pours a little tiny shot of it out for you and hands it to you. How does that taste to you?
I'll pause and examine it.
It smells like
an
bubblegum.
illusion.
No, it smells like bubblegum.
Take a sip.
It tastes like bubblegum.
I'm not sure what it tastes like. I've never had anything like this.
Is it pleasant?
Suppose.
I'm trying to discern a flavour for the new wine I'm introducing. Something designed for fun. It's completely useless, but great fun.
I don't think this is the one.
No, me neither. I'll find something. Anyway, thank you for your time, Aveltrin. Have a good day. As you leave, Cadmus, you have a necromancy exam. I knew I was going to get some of these flipped upside down and back to front. Layla looks out at you and... Come on in, Cadmus.
Okay.
Do you require any props?
I don't think I will. Surprisingly.
I must ask, is there any potential for the spell that you're about to cast to cause harm unto yourself?
Not the spell itself.
Are you going to...
Only what I'm going to be doing to myself as a result of it. And, don't worry. I'll be a little more cautious than, the people I've heard about.
She motions for a moment for you to wait. I must ask, do you feel that the spell you are going to cast is within your level and competence? Is it a spell you have cast before?
Yes, I have practiced it a few times. It's within my realm, and actually, I think I might need one prop, just because.
Very
Since you
good.
said
I'm
about
providing
being
no
safe
live
distance-
subjects today.
No,
Which
no,
prop would you
just a
like?
candle, just a candle.
She waves and a candle comes into light, a pale blue flame. Please, go ahead and cast your spell.
So, necromancy is the magic of life and death. Yes.
Indeed it is.
then it can also be used in an interesting way to, in a sense, protect life
That it
by
can.
creating a pay limitation. I'll wave over my hand and, with one of my hands, I'll wave over the other one and cast upon it, and then hold my hand uncomfortably very on top of the flame, and something will begin peeling and flaking and bubbling off my hand, off the flesh itself, as the false life I've imbued within the hand peels away from it, and pull my hand away before I bring myself to any actual real harm.
Excellent.
A safer way, I feel, of demonstrating this and
Indeed.
what it could be.
Thank you for your time today, Cadmus. I do have a question, if you don't mind.
Sorry, what was the first thing you said?
Thank you for your time today, Cadmus. I have a question,
Oh.
if you don't mind.
If I can answer it, yeah.
It is possible to transfer life from one person to another. Is it possible to transfer life from flora? Or plants?
From Flora.
Or plants onto others?
I cannot say I've ever seen it done. I know it's possible to take life from it. I don't know if it's possible
Well, that's
to
what
take
he's
life
asking. She's asking, can you take life from the plant and give it to a person?
I don't think so. I think there are other magics that might be able to do so. I do not think this is within necromancy.
She looks at you. Well, my first class this year was a while ago, I guess. Never mind, eh? That's a B for brilliant. And stay safe, Cadmus.
Oh, yeah.
The very
was the,
first class, she killed plants to heal.
Oh,
people.
yeah, she did. Yep.
Yep, she did. And also, I believe Heta tried to reverse the process to hurt herself to make plants better. Yeah, okay, you may go. Thank you.
Oh, damn it.
Zas, you have an abjuration.
I did fall asleep in class.
Yes.
And as you arrive, you see Gallus outside. He's looking upset. But,
What is wrong, Professor?
Well, we lost a student yesterday.
No.
And the headmistress has decided to delay the funeral until after the B.A.Ts are over. I think it improper, but nevertheless I must conduct my exams. Please come on in.
Yes.
Do you have a spell prepared for me today?
I do.
Excellent. Do you require any props?
Just to be struck.
He will swing out at you with a feather duster appears in his hand and reaches towards you.
To raise my hand. As like just runic shapes begin to form, and I cast shield.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Very powerful. Casting. Thank you, Zas. I do have a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, Professor.
Some abjuration wizards are capable of creating shields in front of their bodies, absorbing some elements of magic. Can these be replenished?
If the wizard specializes in it,
Indeed.
they can do so.
An excellent answer. And are those shields able to protect others?
Yes, they can be used to do so.
They can indeed. An E. Exquisite, Zas.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck in your next exam.
Thank you.
And DC, you have an illusion exam. As you arrive, you notice that Veltrier is just leaving. I came so close to saying Cadmus.
I'm ready. This is my specialty.
Furlock is sipping a drink in the room, and he sort of waves to Veltru and then gestures for you to come in. Come on in, Ziggy. Ah, one of my finest
I'm
students.
coming. Hello. I have a giant smile on my face.
Good. Good. I have a couple of questions for you, if I may. Once you
Hit
have
me.
cast an illusion, Ziggy, can you change its nature?
I can because I'm very powerful.
Indeed you are. And when we cast an illusion of... Oh, no, that question's already been asked. Hold on, let me find the next one.
You can ask it again.
I could, but you might know the answer. And that's cheating. It is possible to create images of one's fears within somebody's mind. Correct?
That is correct. However, I'm not at that stage yet.
Is it possible to cure somebody of their fear using illusion magic?
I never thought of that, but I would think yes. I meant no.
I don't think heroism is an illusion spell, sadly. Nevertheless, he looks at you and, well, I suppose, sometimes illusions are used to make people smile, make people happy, eh? With that, he says, do you require any props for your demonstration today?
I do not. So
Excellent.
sit back and enjoy the ride.
I will.
I'm gonna look over at the doorway, and you're gonna see Hadras there. I'm like, oh, hello, Hadras. Are you here to watch after my amazing evocation test? I'm gonna wave, and my silent image of him is gonna disappear. Okay, here we go. Imagine there are a bunch of goblins coming to attack us from the hallway. I'm going to, I'm not actually making them appear. I'm just, like, saying, like, pretend we're getting attacked. I'm gonna use,
Furlock will gesture and some little goblins begin to enter the room.
I'm gonna use Phantom Steed,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna see this nice, ghostly, like, purple,
I need an
like,
Arcana
gaseous
check for this.
horse. Come on. Seems to have frozen.
That's right.
Oh no, that is not good.
No? How bad
All right,
is not good?
Professor. The website didn't work, so I rolled manually, and I rolled a natural 1.
It doesn't stop your spell from being magnificent and working. It just unfortunately seems to take you quite a lot of concentration to achieve. It's not as effortless as you might hope.
Oh, so then this horse appears. Then I'm going to get on it, and its movement speed is 100 feet. So I will just like race away, and that's like a getaway, getting away from danger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna jump, like I'm like across the room now. I'm gonna jump off the horse. Okay, Rex, you've been good. He's gonna disappear, and then you're gonna see my famous summon chair is gonna appear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to sit in it, but I'm gonna fall through it. Haha, you thought I used summon chair, but I just illusioned my summon chair. I'm gonna stand up and take a bow.
You have a good heart, Vicky. And you like to have fun. And to me, that's what magic's about. Take an E! Congratulations.
Oh,
Exquisite. He may have told Veltru earlier that he's going to give them to every single student today.
it's a great day to roll a 1.
Bartholomew, you have a divination exam.
I've already had divination.
Yes, I'm backwards again, aren't I? Bartholomew, you have an evocation exam. There you go. As you arrive, Hadras is left the door open, but he seems to be having an argument with a mirror. He notices you at the corner of his eye and waves his hand over the mirror and turns to you. Bartholomew, come in.
Hello, Professor.
Welcome. Do you have a spell prepared for me today?
Yes, sir.
Do you require a prop or a target?
Yes, a target, please.
waves it, and an image, a very lifelike image of a young female, perhaps 15 or 16, is standing against the wall, completely still. Use her.
Okay, I'll walk to the opposite side of the room, and as I do, I kind of whisper, "Bit dark, but okay." And then as I face the girl, I'll like raise both hands to my side, and some like blue sparkly mist will raise and like collect above my head, and then this like green skinned, like big nose with a wart on it, and like this cackling, like stereo, like Walt Disney type witch, will like raise from the mist and start cackling maniacally, and then we'll summon a bolt of thunder in one hand and throw it down at the little girl.
Strikes the girl in the heart, and she falls down upon the ground. He looks at you. You have demonstrated the destructive powers of evocation. Can it also be used to protect?
In a sense, yes.
Describe in a sense.
One of my dear friends, Avelcia, for example, can shape her destructive magic so it doesn't give as much of an impact on her friends.
True. But I speak of if a flaming ball of fire is coming towards you, can evocation grant you the ability to resist it?
I'm gonna say no. But I don't know if... Yeah, I guess I'll say no.
People always see the destructive side, never the protective side. Fire shield! 4th level spell. You'll learn it one day. If I have my say, we'll be teaching the protective spells before the damaging ones soon. You may leave, Bartholomew, and I'll make it my mistake that I didn't teach you that earlier in the year. I have an E, exquisite, for your interesting flavor of this spell.
Thank you, Professor.
And Bartholomew, you should be questioning teachers who put children in front of you as targets. And with that, he will throw a large ball of ice at the apparent corpse of the girl. And it'll shatter into 1,000 tiny pieces of ice. I'm sorry. I'm angry.
I'll like go to say something, stop myself, and just walk out.
Very well. Zas, you have a transmutation.
Yes.
Yes. And as you arrive at the class of Grace, you see that she is sitting in her office. Wrong person, sorry. She's sitting in her testing room, holding her staff and looking pensive, and she looks up at you. Come in, Zas. Sit down.
Yes, Professor.
I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Please.
Transmutation can change one solid to another solid. Can I change a
Yes.
solid to a liquid?
I believe so, yes.
Excellent. Can you name a property of a transmuter's stone?
I believe one of the properties of Transmuter Stone was alacrity is coming to my mind.
Indeed. Very well done. Do you have a spell prepared for me today, Zas?
Well, it is a cantrip, but
That is fine. Is it likely to cause harm to anybody?
no.
Have you cast it before?
Yes.
Has it been taught to you by a professor at this school?
No.
Thank you for the warning. Do you intend to cast it upon yourself?
I'll pick up my little my crystal.
Mhm.
Well, not the crystal. My little flask that has all my bugs and things inside and little seeds.
Mhm.
I'll cast it upon this.
Good. Thank you. Please go ahead.
And as I hold the flask in my hand, I will go over once. As I do so, I hold the crystal, my crystal, and the bone chain like a rosary, pretty much.
Mhm.
As I filter through them, the energy will begin to gather as a singular seed in the flask will sprout. Casting Druidcraft.
Nice. She looks at you after a while. Fitting that our necromancer focuses on life. Exquisite. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Aveltria, you have an enchantment lesson exam. And as you arrive at the exam hall, a small purple mouth on the door says, next student, please.
I will enter.
Sitting in a squishy armchair is Vanya. She gestures for you to sit in the squishy armchair next to her.
I will plop down.
What does friendship mean to you, Aveltria?
It tells you who's going to be there.
That it does. I don't think I'm in the mood for jokes. I must ask you a question about enchantment, if that is okay. It is possible to sow confusion within the minds of others using enchantment. Can you apply this to more than one person at once?
I believe so.
Indeed. I must ask you, do you have a spell prepared for me today?
I'd be a very good student if I didn't.
Are you certain that it is an enchantment spell?
I am.
Okay. Do you need a target for this spell?
No, I have one. Snap my fingers and I'll summon Eclipse.
Excellent. Please be careful. Go ahead.
Alright, buddy. Just like we practiced. Set him down. Back up about 15 feet. And he's gonna start growling at me. Walking at me. I'm gonna reach into my pocket. Grab some stone dust. And blow it out. And cast sleep.
And he'll fall asleep. Vanya sort of yawns. Well, could have got me with that one. A good
Would
alternative.
you like me to?
No, but a good alternative to violence. Thank you, Aveltria. That's an E.
I will scoop up Eclipse and leave.
Before you go, Aveltria, wait. The headmistress has asked that we wait for the funeral for Sarah until after the exams. However, a few of us have decided to gather in the Great Hall this evening at the stroke of midnight for a remembrance. I will tell you that the headmistress does not approve. I'll be leading the ceremony. You're welcome to come and tell all your friends if you wish.
Be there.
Thank you. And she lets you go. And, Cadmus, you have a, I do know this. Wait with me. Cadmus, you have a conjuration exam.
Conjuration. Okie dokie.
Can I just check? 3 of you have had a divination exam, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Cadmus
I didn't
and
have
Zaz-
one.
Cadmus and
I
Zaz
would've-
haven't had them yet, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, cool, right, good. Okay, it's just that's the relevant one that I need to remember. Okay, Cadmus, as you arrive, standing outside is Elgon. And he looks at you.
Hello?
Do you have a conjuration spell prepared today?
I do.
We won't be using the classroom. Are you able to demonstrate it for me?
Won't be using the classroom. Okay.
Are you able to demonstrate it for me?
Yeah, I can demonstrate a few things here. I will
Please
click
do.
my fingers, summon my familiar, and wave
As
my
soon
hand.
as you do so, as soon as it blinks into existence, he counterspells it. Exquisite. Thank you very much. You can leave.
Really? That's. Uh,
Don't ask questions, boy. Thank you.
are you okay? Is everything okay? I really have to ask.
Next student, please.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
You can see he's flustered, but he's determined he's going to do his job. Even if it is only a semblance of his job. And Zas.
That's a shame because I still was not done, but that's
I
fine.
know. I know, I'm sorry.
That teacher woke up and chose violence.
Yeah, he did. He did. I was going to put on a little bit of a show with him, but yeah.
I'm sorry. But conjuration
Oh, well.
is not going to be the one for that. Zas,
Yeah.
you arrive outside the common room, having finished your exams. And you see a poster on the door.
Who is it of?
It says the flower remembrance, midnight, Great Hall. Somebody else has written underneath in blue ink, idiot, over the poster.
I see. Well, I will summon my unseen servant and open my book and begin to read.
Hedda comes in and looks over you. How did your exams go today, Zas?
Exquisite. How did yours go, Hedda?
Elcon didn't even test me.
What? He just passed you?
Yeah.
And they are distracted.
Cassandra said 4 students were lost last year. It's different this year.
Do you think it's systematic?
What do you mean?
You said it feels different this year. How so? Are the students being targeted?
No, I said it must be different this year. You see, if they lost 4 students last year, they must be used to this, right? Losing students and exams and whatever.
You would think so, yes. Master of the Arcane Arts can't be just so negligent.
Yet, every teacher seems devastated. I don't know, Zas. Something's out of place.
Yes, but... Have you passed all your exams so far?
I told Karina that she was going to die last Tuesday. I didn't pass my divination exam, but the rest have gone very well.
You saw that? In the
No.
crystal ball?
I got confused with my words while attempting to say something I thought she might find satisfactory.
I see. What exams do you have left?
Illusion with Furlock tomorrow. An abjuration with Gallus in the evening. That's it.
I'll help you study.
Thanks, but I'm gonna go out to the greenhouses and gather some flowers for Sarah tonight.
Understood.
She walks out, looking upset. As the rest of you come in from your exams, there's an air of... Yeah, go on, Bot.
As we come in, I'm assuming we see the poster.
You all see the poster. That's what I was about to say. As you all return from your exams, you all see the poster outside the door. The flower remembrance for Sarah, Midnight, Great Hall, and then underneath somebody has written over it in blue ink, idiot.
Written over it or written underneath it?
At the bottom. They've written under,
Okay,
like
then
on the
I'm
sheet,
gonna-
but at the bottom of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip that part off. Like scrunch it up and then I'll throw it into the fireplace.
I'll burn it.
I don't trust this.
As you all take us... Sorry, go on. Take your carry
I
on.
was going to say, Nothing good happens at midnight. This could be a trap to get us too.
As you all take your seat in the common room, the painting over the fireplace begins to speak as a mouth forms on it. And you hear a voice that perhaps a couple of you have heard once. Of a woman. It has come to my attention that a ceremony for remembrance for Sarah is commencing tonight. Sorry. I don't know when, as wizards, we became weaklings or we respected idiocy and mistakes. The academy here is for progress, and for learning, and for pushing our boundaries and achieving the most that we can. We can perhaps take note of the girls' mistakes and choose not to make them ourselves. Perhaps that is what should be remembered tonight. But it should be noted that although I do not approve, I have allowed for this ceremony to continue. So if as students you are worried about any trouble you might get into, you may attend. Exams will continue as normal, so I suggest you get some sleep.
Suggest you not be so rude to your fellow students.
Good night. And the mouth disappears.
Do we know who that was talking?
Sorry?
The painting.
You know it's the headmistress. Maybe Cadmus might know who the headmistress is. Cadmus, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Oh, I didn't realise I was there. If I was just going to breathe fire on a painting and just try to burn the fuck out of it. 25.
The painting won't do anything. The painting didn't speak. She used it as a method of speaking into all the common rooms simultaneously.
Oh, well, I wouldn't have known that wouldn't have worked. I thought she influenced the painting. And, yeah,
Nevertheless, you know
to
that her
stop it,
name
but, yeah.
is Angelina Vertrace.
Yeah.
Angelina Vertrace was an incredibly successful elven wizard who came to take over the academy as... how do I put it? A favor? Not quite. She was placed by the Lord Lagon.
Of course.
Oh, more uppity ones. Yeah.
Perhaps in exchange for some sort of political favor. Though what, you're not sure, and she probably never cared. And on that note, as you all... Yes, go on, Bart.
Seeing Zess, like, sat over there just reading, I'm gonna walk over to him. Do you not care what's happening with the students?
Do you believe there is a plot against us?
I believe that something's clearly not right.
Do you know what it is?
Do you honestly believe me to answer that question with anything other than no?
Then there's no need to worry right now.
Do you know what the cure is for your people?
No, and that's what I'm doing.
Then you don't need to worry about it right now. And I'll walk away.
All right.
At this point, Hedda comes in, carrying a large bunch of purple flowers. She puts them in a little vase on the table. If anybody wants some petals to sprinkle tonight, they'll be there. I don't know if any of you met Sarah, but she was a nice woman. She looks over at the rest of you. I've said something, haven't I? Oh, I'm sorry. And then with that, she'll just burst into tears and run back out the common room door, leaving the flowers on the table for you.
It didn't even remove her body. Exams went on. They just brought me sick.
And on that note, we'll take a short break. Hello, and... Oh, that didn't work. Hello, and welcome back to the Academy of Shar, the second half. So, we begin in the evening. First of all, can I get a little show of nopes? Is anybody not attending tonight's remembrance ceremony? Is anybody not attending apart from Zas? You won't be attending, Bart? Okay. Yep. Okay. Aveltria, DC, Cadmus. Hedda and Cass are both turning up. And as you arrive, the hall is packed. Absolutely packed to the brim. And there's a lot of talk going on. There's a lot of murmuring. It doesn't seem like a remembrance ceremony. It doesn't seem particularly peaceful. And at the front of the hall, you see a gentle-looking man. Grey hair. Fairly long. Worn in a warrior's braid. He has a sword at his hip. He's wearing fine nobleman's clothes. You notice that quite a few people around you are turned to look at the Lagon siblings, who are bright red in the face. Hedda leans to you. That's their dad. And he sort of coughs. Excuse me. You suddenly hear the voice of Grace cut through everybody. Please, if everybody could be quiet and let the Duke speak. He looks over at you. I am so sorry to be coming to you on such a sad day. I understand there is soon to be a remembrance ceremony for a girl whose life was lost because of lack of preparation, lack of structure, lack of forethought, lack of guidance, and mistakes. It is up to me to tell you that this evening, Master Elgon will be leaving us. And Headmistress Angelina will be stepping down, resuming her original post as the teacher of conjuration. Sorry, I had to think about that one. Taking her place as headmistress, or I suppose I should say headmaster, is Gallus. But he will remain teaching at his post as well. At this, you hear an opening at the back of the door, and I will not be stepping down! And the headmistress walks through. She is wearing what looks like a black sort of two-part suit. And Grace turns to her. And if you won't be stepping down, you'll be stepping out. As every teacher here is in agreement. We will not work for you. She looks to one side and she looks to the other. Then I'll leave. And she turns and she walks out the door. And you hear Karina rather accidentally loudly. Good riddance. And she's gone. Gallus walks up and steps to the top of the stage. Good evening, students. I understand that not everybody is here. But nevertheless, those of you who have friends who have not attended the ceremony, for whatever reasons, we will not judge them. Please let them know. There will be no exams tomorrow. They will resume the day after. Tomorrow will be a day for remembrance and for the funeral for Sarah. And a time of reflection as the Academy changes direction. We are a place of learning. And we are a place where we attempt to break boundaries and exceed expectations. But we should do so safely, within the guidance of those who are here to teach us. I personally do not believe it was Master Elgon's mistake, but a mistake in policy. But nevertheless, he has been asked to step down. In the meantime, the kind Lady Grace has agreed to teach both classes. I ask that you all think carefully about what happened to Sarah, and attempt to do the best you can to be safe in your explorations of what is a fascinating art, as magic is. If any students are in need of any counseling or anyone to talk to, Furlock has made himself available tomorrow, as has Lady Vanya. You'll find them in their offices all day and all evening should you wish to speak to somebody about your feelings. In the meantime, I'd like to hand back to Duke Lagon. The Duke looks up. I did not have the pleasure of knowing the girl. Sarah Islandfeld. From Lowallan. From my own town. And I didn't know her name. But I do know that her life was lost as a result of a mistake. Be it in policy, teaching, I don't know. This is a school. We don't expect to lose students, let alone 2 in a year. The academy has only been under my personal patronage for this year. I'm aware that in the past it was the norm for students to be lost during exams or even during the dangerous games that are played at the end of each year, but it will not be the case in the future. Students are encouraged to learn and to progress, but safety will be placed before progress. Understand that as wizards this may upset some, but that is how it will be. And with that, he reaches into his pocket and he takes out a small bunch of yellow daffodils. And he places them down upon the centre of the hall. Sarah Islandfeld. He nods, and he goes to walk out of the room. I will take a perception check from Aveltria and DC. Ziggy. And Cadmus, please. Just let me know if anybody gets above a 16. Okay, great. You will hear a conversation going on in the corner between the 2 Lagon siblings. Oh, what a tragedy. What a bad look. Why has he come here? He doesn't even have any magic. How pathetic. That's ridiculous. Shame to call him father. Protection before progress. This is the man that leads the nation. Gods, when we're in power, it's going to be different. Aveltria, as you look at the Lord Lagon, Duke Lagon, as he leaves, please give me an insight check. Good God, did you throw that dice in the wall? That made a hell of a noise! Boom! What was it? What was it, Allura? 19, there you go, see? We should all roll our dice like that. Nevertheless, you get the impression that Duke Lagon's, as he looks, he's a good man. He cares. You would also realize through mutterings around you that whatever business agreement he had with the headmistress he's just dismissed, he will have lost a lot of either riches or sway by breaking that deal and getting rid of her. But he doesn't care. He's done what he thinks is right. An actual noble. Who would have thought? I don't know why you're shocked. You've met the guy already. No, I don't know why Jamal's shocked. He's already met the Lord Lagon. But never mind. Yes, indeed. Regardless, at this point, various people will go and lay flowers down in the center of the room, and Heta will give you them if you want to hand them out. She is tearful, near inconsolable for the entire ceremony. It's embarrassingly loud. She has a horrible habit when she cries of actually making noises, which is really annoying. Nevertheless, Cassandra will spend the evening trying to console her. And after the ceremony, you may all head back to your rooms. It's near 1 o'clock in the morning, but you don't have exams tomorrow.
something Zas said as well. I think, if I remember, it was Zas, right? Stuck in my mind here, and it's got me thinking. Why now? Why this? Other students were lost other years. Why was this one the straw to break the camel's back?
Apologies for the loss of audio after the break. But we
Oh
should have it all
no.
restored now.
Oh no.
I misclicked and accidentally remuted. I don't know when. But regardless, such is life.
Such is
Cassandra
life.
will turn to you, Cadmus. The Lord Lagon's first year in power, right? He wants to make an impact, make a difference.
So that's what the change was.
At this, you hear the sound of the common room door opening. And you see Matthias and and his sister, that's what we'll call her, enter the common room holding large bags and bedding under the other arm. The Lord Lagon follows them in, and behind them is Grace. She walks over to the wall and she places her hand upon it, and you can see her concentrate for a moment. She looks, Lord Lagon looks over at you all, and I'm so sorry for the interruption. And 2 more rooms will sprout at the side of the common room. They are exactly the same size as your rooms. Particularly uncomfortable looking beds in them. And he will push his children into the rooms and turn to you all. Don't see why they thought they should be different. I hope that they're not too intolerable to work alongside.
No, they're my friends.
Then I hope your character judgment improves over the course of your life, Ziggy. And
Oh,
with that, he turns and
all I
he
can do
storms
is
out.
give him a look of disappointment, as if to say, unfortunately, they really are, and I'll just I'll just say to him, "Thank you for the speech earlier. What you did that."
I didn't do it for you. I did it because
I
it's the
know
right thing.
it satisfied a lot of people.
He
Sure.
will leave, but the Lady Grace returns to you. I'm sorry, the Lord Lagon has had a very long night. Nevertheless, I hope you will find these arrangements somewhat comfortable. I hope you have a day of peace tomorrow, and see you at the next exams.
Good night.
Good night. And she'll leave. At this point, is there anything else you guys would like to do before the night ends? The door to the Lagon rooms has been slammed shut and locked.
Calling it a night.
What a shame! What a shame! I can't give snark to them.
The following morning, as you all wake up and come down, you will see that the door has been adjusted slightly. It seems to have large bars over it, and the window in it has been blocked over. Make of that what you will, but you will not see the Lagon siblings. They have either already left or are not coming out.
Wait,
I'm gonna knock on
bars
the door
along.
anyway.
Bars along. What? Sorry.
Door?
The door to the Lagon bedrooms has had some bars put over it.
And you said
Am
about
I
the
able
windows.
to-
Which window?
Their window. There was a window on
Oh,
that door,
right.
and it has been blacked out.
Am I able to phase run through the door?
Give it a go.
I'm gonna try and phase run through Matthias' door.
Okay. As you do, you run headlong into a thick barrier of a magical nature. You understand that, unfortunately, it's not that simple.
All right, there goes
You
that.
may, however, give me an Arcana check, as you realize that that magic is quite strong.
21.
Yeah, you would assume that they've either had help or magical items to achieve such a barrier so quickly. Nevertheless,
I automatically assume it's an item because I know they're not that strong wizards.
Indeed you do. I believe you beat them in a competition. Nevertheless, unless there's anything specific you guys want to do today, the funeral will be at 3 o'clock. Is there anything anybody particularly wants to do in the time?
Other than catching up the others on what occurred.
Of course. No. Great. At approximately 10 to 3, Hedda will come into the common room and she'll look for Zas. Is Zas there?
Yeah. Reading.
She comes over to you and puts her hand lightly on the back of your book.
Yes.
You're coming to the funeral, right?
Why would I do that?
Because the whole school's going to be there. It's a sign of respect. And yes, it was her own stupid fault. And yes, we may just make mistakes. But when a life is lost, we should pay some damn respect.
I'll put it this way. What school am I in? What do I specialize in?
Life.
Precisely. Death. Death is an everyday occurrence. I don't even know this girl.
No, but she could have been one of us.
She could have been, but she was not.
What about Bryson?
Bryson wasn't. Unfortunate.
Don't you see, it's the same thing. When we went to Bryson's funeral, everybody at the school was there. Because it was a sign of respect. And it was good. We knew him. We knew he was a good boy. And
He was.
it was nice to see everyone turn up for him. Well, Sarah was a good girl. And her friends should see that everybody turned up for her too.
Well, I barely make an impact as it is, so I'm sure I will not be missed.
You'll be missed. Just maybe not by the people you think. And with that, she sort of, tears in her eyes, walks away.
Now
She
open my
starts
book.
blossoming the purple flowers on the table before walking out. Apart from Zas, is there anybody else who won't be going to the funeral?
I'll be going, but when I go to leave and I see like Zess reading, I just like storm right past him.
As the rest of you go to the funeral, after a while, Zas, you notice the Lagon siblings come out into the common room. They look at you. What are you doing here? You got a funeral to be to or something?
I am not going.
Oh. Yeah. Too busy reading or something?
Yes.
I think he'd be useful as a wizard if he spent that much time reading. Anyway, Matthias will go to walk straight past you, but his sister stops and turns. What are you reading anyway?
I'm reviewing my notes.
Notes?
So as I pull back, you can see like all the notes that I've taken over the course of the semester. They're in this book. They're always been copied and like behind the book, even though he's reading. There's a reason why I have the unseen servant hold my book, because I'm always practicing behind it. So that's basically what I'm doing. You can see like little like maybe like, because I know I have like illusion and a few others left, so you'll see like a little silent image moving across my legs and things like that. While I'm sitting there.
She looks over to the fireplace and she looks back at you. Now keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
Good. Do so. And then she'll walk up to the painting above the fireplace that spoke yesterday. She takes out what looks like a small silver circle, like a disc. And she places it upon the edge of the painting. And she begins to mutter incantation. At the same time, Matthias is reading from a scroll. He's putting his hand over and over across the painting. Eventually, the scroll crumbles. And the disc fuses. You see it go all the way across as a silver cover, and then disappear completely. It's done. She turns to her brother. Come on then. A couple more things to sort out. And they walk out. Those of you who are at the funeral, you'll notice a couple of things. It's very, very plain, boring, expected. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing particularly emotional or interesting about it. It is very much like a by rote funeral. Until the last person steps up to the podium. And this is Furlock. He steps onto the podium. You see a array of flowers around his head. By his hand. It's not easy. The path of the magician, the path of the wizard. It can be difficult to remember what's important as we get lost in our studies, our magics. Recently, a student of ours died. She did something that was unexpected. She made a mistake. She lost her life. But as teachers, it is our job to foresee the unexpected. But she's not the only student that's been lost this year. One young Bryson went on an expedition to some caves to investigate some history on the Moon Elves. It is not currently within my grasp to be able to reveal what happened there. But he is dead because we did not protect him. We as teachers, we as a school, we as an academy. Other students' lives were put at risk that day because we did not have sufficient planning in place. That won't be happening from now on. There are expeditions planned for the third years next year after the holidays. Each of you in your expeditions will be escorted not just by one teacher, but by 12 battle mages. If we do not have the facilities to achieve this, the expeditions will be cancelled until we can find those resources. We're calling these escorts Bryson battalions. And there is now a new system of rules by which you must place written submission as to your demonstration of spells for your exams next year. It's called the Sarah Pact. What happened this year won't happen again. It is also my sad place to tell you that this year will be my last as the head of illusion at the school. My leaving is joyous. I will be going to release a new product called the Upside Down Wine and focus on my enjoyment of silliness and impractical magic. But I will be sad to be leaving the place of so many students and to no longer be able to put a smile on the faces of those around me. However, students from the Lagon House may be interested to know that their expedition next year will be with me, as I will be continuing my duties outside of school hours. In the meantime, it, I suppose, would be proper for us to say some words of remembrance for Thara. But instead I shall simply say to you, laugh, smile, be joyful, and be silly. Life's short of a sum than others. Make use of it. Don't miss things. Make sure you see the wood from the trees. And make sure you have a good joke prepared for your enchantment exam. With that, he gives you a wink. And he gestures with his hand. And on a table next to 4 of each of you is a bottle. Filled with a purple liquid where the bubbles float downwards instead of upwards. As you all take a sip of this, it tastes of strawberries. That's what he finally decided on. You will immediately hiccup and let out a stupid little tune. And he will giggle and leave. After the funeral, you may all return to the common rooms. Do as you please. Is there anything that anyone would like to be doing?
I'll just be like sat by the fire. I'm just looking through my spell book, making sure I've got everything prepared for my next exams.
Sass, you missed quite the ceremony.
I'm sure I did.
Well, looks like we have another teacher leaving now.
Staff come and go.
Yeah, but Furlock was my favorite.
I'm sorry to hear that, TC. Maybe if you ask him, he'll tutor you outside of school.
He actually is. He's gonna lead us on our trips so we don't get hurt again.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Glad for you. I'm going to do a little gardening. I'll return to my room.
I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit in my chair.
Is it a real chair this time?
No, it's my summon chair.
Of course it is.
Okay. Has anybody got anything else they'd like to do today before the night ends and we resume exams the following day?
Surprisingly, no. I'm just going to take the time to process what the hell just happened.
Okay. The following morning, the first exam will be 8 a.m. and it will be Bartholomew. Bartholomew, your first exam is Abjuration. Are you prepared?
Okay, I'll make my way over to the class.
Okay, cool. As you make your way over, you see Gallus is looking Gallus is looking incredibly busy as he's making notes in his book. But he looks up at you and Bartholomew, good morning. Come on in.
Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. It is a good morning, isn't it? He smiles.
Smile.
Abjuration is a protection magic. It can be used to protect yourself from incoming missiles, for example. Can this protection be extended to others around you?
Yes, it can.
Indeed. Many different magics can be put in place by abjuration. Is it also the place of abjuration to dispel them?
Yes, it is.
Good. Have you a spell prepared for me today?
I do.
Please. You're not going to do anything that puts yourself in danger, are you?
No, sir.
And this is a spell you've cast before?
Yes.
Excellent. Please, go ahead. Do you require any props?
No. I'll start walking over to the other side of the room, and as I turn around, I'll summon my staff, and then I'll say, when you're ready, if you could cast magic missiles on me, please.
It's a good job I prepared that spell today. And he moves his hand and but I am going to use a variant, just in case you make a mistake. with that, 3 tiny little pellets of force move towards you at a slower pace. You would garner that even if they hit you, they're not actually going to hurt you.
I'll pause and wait. And wait. And then when they've got close enough, I'll tap on the ground twice with the bottom of my staff. And from the ground upwards to about head height, bricks will appear and stack on top of each other, and then stack on top of each other, creating a brick wall to block the magic missiles. And then once they've slowly hit, the bricks will turn to dust and then dissipate.
An excellent demonstration. Thank you. I'm sorry that I couldn't quite fulfill your request, but you understand care must be taken in light of recent events.
Sure.
Well, thank you very much. That is an E for exquisite. And I believe your friend is waiting outside. If you'd send him in when you get out, please.
Yes, Professor.
Okay. And as you head out, you will see Ziggy waiting outside.
How'd you do?
Exquisite, but I think we all knew that. And then I will use my minor conjuration to conjure a brick, and I'll throw it up in the air and catch it, and then I'll hand it to Ziggy. Here, you might need this. And then I'll walk away.
You just hand me a brick? I'm gonna walk in. Hello, Professor. I brought you a present. I'm gonna hand him the brick.
Thank you. Looks at it. And he smiles. Well, Ziggy, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Magic can be used to both lock and unlock doors. But which of these skills belongs to the School of Abjuration?
Well, normally, that's a rogue's job, not a wizard. So this is a trick question.
He looks at you and... Well, you'll be interested to know that next year you will be learning both Arcane Lock and Knock from the appropriate classes. Spells that replicate what a rogue can sometimes struggle with. Nevertheless,
Is it
Ziggy,
lock?
yes, would you kindly demonstrate your abilities in Abjuration for me? Before you do, are you going to attempt to do anything that may hurt yourself?
No, but I need you to try to hurt me.
Indeed, I shall do so gently.
At
And
the first level, please.
is this the, have you attempted this spell before?
Nope.
Do you understand the danger of attempting magic spells that you have not attempted before?
This spell can only protect me. So if I mess it up, I doesn't do any harm.
Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Sometimes attempting spells that are beyond our ability can result in unintended consequences. Nevertheless, I think if...
Wait a second. It looks like the teachers actually learned something.
I will be listening carefully to your incantation. If you make a mistake on the words, I will stop you. But in the meantime, please go ahead. And with that, he shall throw at you what looks like daggers made of leaves.
Alright, I'm going to use Absorb Spell.
Okay. Absorb spell is a 3rd level spell, correct?
I believe so. Might be 2nd level. No, it is 3rd level, you're right.
Can I have an Arcana check, please? Oh, I've just had to reveal my logic and reasonings. Oh well.
22.
Excellent. You say the words faultlessly, and the leaves will sputter back into leaves.
Ta-da.
Excellent. Well, hopefully you'll be able to practice that more. And it'll come easily to you. In the meantime, thank you very much for your time, Ziggy. That is a B for brilliant.
A B? Why?
I'm afraid you did not answer my question correctly.
Oh, man. Okay.
Best of luck with your next exam. And at this point, we shall flick over to Cadmus. Cadmus, your first exam of the day is Enchantment.
Okay.
And as you knock on the door, you see a little pink mouth form in the door and come in. Sitting in a squishy armchair is Vanya. She gestures for you to sit opposite her.
Okay.
Come sit down, Cadmus. How are you doing?
Hard to say. It's
Is it?
been a
I
lot
think
to
talking about our
process.
feelings is one of the easiest things. Keeping them bottled up that's difficult. Nevertheless, it's
I
important
find
to
the
smile.
contrary to be the case, but I can understand the sentiment.
Well, be that as it may, it is important to smile. Please, have you a joke?
Have I a joke? Why'd they say break a leg when you go up on stage?
I don't know. Why do they say break a leg when you go up on stage?
Every play has a cast.
Oh dear, Cadmus. Well, I suppose it does construe as a joke.
Ah, the dad joke.
She looks at you. Do you have a spell prepared today?
I do indeed.
Will you be requiring any props?
Something. Yeah, actually. How do I put this?
Something borrowed? Blue? Old? New?
An animal of some form, perhaps?
She'll make a gesture and a cute little puppy will appear in the corner of the room and sort of gallivant towards you. I must ask, have you cast this spell before?
A couple of times in
Good.
practice.
And is there any
so
chance you might hurt yourself?
I do not believe I will.
Very good. Please proceed.
Unfortunately for me, this puppy's a little too playful and energetic, so it's time for you to take your rest. I'll wave my hands over it and let me just roll that.
Well, you don't need to. That's fine.
Yeah, that'll be plenty
It
enough.
has 1 HP.
Yeah, I shall be.
So you'll be
it's
okay.
definitely enough. Yeah, it'll
And
definitely be.
as it falls asleep, you see that it is a little translucent. She waves away the illusion. Thank you. Excellently performed.
That's,
I have a
quite-
question regarding
quite a
that
good
spell,
illusion.
if you don't mind me asking.
Okay.
The spell can affect multiple targets, correct? But can it be
It
made to last
can.
longer?
That's a very good question. I certainly couldn't make it last longer.
Yes, well, I wasn't questioning your competence, but your knowledge.
I don't think so. I think that would be not within the realms of the spell itself. I think that would be a different spell to a different spell altogether entirely to last longer.
Congratulations, Cadmus. That's an exquisite, and good luck with your next lesson.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, no, never mind. You can't do that. That's not physically possible. Best of luck with your next lesson. Thank you very much.
Okay.
At this point, we flick over to Zas. Zas, you have a conjuration exam.
Yes.
And standing outside the door is the Lady Grace. She looks at you and... I apologize, I'm ill-prepared for today's exams, but please come on in, Zas, right?
Yes.
And she leads you into the office, and you can see that there's some scattered papers over the desks. And have you a spell prepared today, Zas?
I do.
Is there any chance you might hurt yourself with it?
Impossible.
And have you cast this spell before?
Yes.
Good. Do you require any props?
No.
Indeed, one might think if you did, you might conjure them yourselves. It's sort of the purpose of the class, right? Anyway, please,
Precisely.
proceed.
I'll use a rosary and hang it above as it begins to like kind of swing around in a circular pattern. I'll begin to focus as I cast bonfire, create bonfire.
Excellent. And she will look at you. Very good. Tell me, in the art of conjuration, is it possible to facilitate travel?
In a sense, yes.
Please define in a sense.
Well, if you were to conjure, say, a demon Or beast, and you were the appropriate size.
That is a very good way of going around the question, but can you transport yourself using only the arts of conjuration?
All the arts of conjuration. No.
She will wave her hand and cast Dimension Door, step through it, and arrive
Forgot
at the
about
back
that
of the room.
spell. Fuck.
She'll look at you.
Or
I
Misty
apologize.
I
That is
forgot
a
the
brilliant.
conjuration.
Misty Steps also conjuration?
Is
I
Misty still
used it
conjuration?
earlier. I better hope it is.
I don't think so. Oh, it is. It is. You are
I
correct.
think it is.
I
Yeah,
forgot.
that's a
I forgot
consistency
the
thing, actually.
conjuration.
Yeah, I would have thought Misty Step wasn't, but I did know Dimension Door was.
I forgot to mention those
regardless,
conjuration.
that will be a brilliant. Thank you
Yes.
very much for your time, Zas. And have a good day.
You too.
Sorry, I was just trying to work out if you had grace yet for your other lesson. Because otherwise she'll do both at once. And we flick over to Aveltria. Aveltria, you have just arrived for your transmutation exam. At the same office. You see Zas coming out. And she looks over at you and... Please, come on in. Aveltria, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a mess today. Go ahead. Have you prepared a spell for me today?
Yes.
And is there any chance that you might hurt yourself in the casting of this spell?
No.
And is this something you've cast before?
Yes.
Good. Do you require any props?
2 platforms, maybe 15 feet apart.
And she'll summon them.
I will stand on one, and I will make a silent image on the ground of 15 foot of lava. And then I will take a book from my bag, and I'll throw it out, and I'll cast Levitate right in the middle. And then I will jump across.
It would seem that I'd forgotten which exam you needed to do today. I apologize. I was about to
Levitate's
ask you.
transmutation.
Yeah, I know. And she looks at you and I was about to ask you a question about conjuration. Really, I'm very sorry. I haven't prepared my questions today for transmutation. Tell me, if you were to change an animal into a different animal using the polymorph spell, and then were to step on their tail, what would happen?
Depends on the size of the animal.
Perhaps a dog into a cat. Per se, you may have damaged the creature by standing on its tail.
Depends on how hardy the cat is, but likely it would change back to a dog.
Indeed. Excellent answer. Exquisite, Aveltria. I apologize, I was not very well prepared. And,
Only had a short time to think.
indeed. Well, you'd think transmutation's my subject. Had all year to do it, but I'm in the wrong office. Nevertheless, troubling times. I hope that you have a good day. And please send the next person in. Aveltria, as you go to leave, you will see Cadmus waiting outside. Laura? Hello?
Sorry.
That's right.
Myself.
Cadmus, come on in. Come on, we'll just take you in straight away.
Okay.
She'll look at you, Cadmus.
How'd
And,
you go, Veltra? 1 second. How'd you go, Veltra?
Oh, not bad. She wasn't really prepared for questions, but she came up with.
Yeah, I can
Having a rough
understand. Okay. Thanks for the heads up.
She looks at you as you come in and... Cadmus, golden skin, right?
Yes, that's me. Why?
Transmutation. Yes?
Transmutation.
Yes, it is your
Yes.
practice,
yes.
is it not?
It is indeed.
Good. Tell me a little bit about transmutation. It is usually a priest's art to be able to cure poison or disease. But transmutation allows us to do this. What about curses?
Curses. Plumbing the depths of my knowledge here. No, I do not think it would be for curses. I know of the ability to remove curses. I believe that would be under a separate and different school of magic.
Unfortunate.
Abjuration, I believe, was the school in question for this one. The ability to remove curses from people.
There are some spells in the school, but transmutation has that ability too. Transmutation, of course, is able to change the states of many things. Tell me, it's possible to change...
But my question here, the interesting one for you. Changing the nature of a curse placed upon somebody, is that truly removing it, or just...
You can also remove a curse, changing the state of the person in question, using transmutation.
Ah.
Also, we do, of course, have the ability to manipulate life and death occasionally as transmuters. Many powers are our own, if we study well enough. It is possible to return life to somebody who is already dead. Is it possible to extend one's life using the arts of the transmuter?
I think it is, yes.
Indeed.
Would that be through the use of a transmuter's stone?
It will
I know
indeed.
I cannot make one, I've read of them though.
A transmuter's stone is also the way in which you might remove a curse.
Oh. You can remove curses with a transmutation stone?
Indeed you can.
Oh.
Oh, what a shame. Oh well. Have you prepared a spell for me today?
Multiple.
Good, please. Is there any chance you might hurt yourself in the casting of these spells?
Possibly, but I'll try to be careful.
Please do, in light of recent events. You may proceed.
Yes. I know this isn't going to go down very well for me saying, but can I have a object which is a little weighty but not too heavy?
Perhaps a log from the fire, and she will gesture, and a piece of wood, about 5 pounds.
A little bit heavier, just a little bit, say twice as much or
She
so.
waves her hands, and it literally doubles in weight.
Fantastic, excellent. So I didn't have to do that myself. With that, I shall cast a spell to undo that and very much lighten it, then levitate the thing and ask her, would you be fine to catch this with magic?
To catch it?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I'm going to launch it across the room. Not at her, but somewhere for her to...
Catapult.
try to... Yes, indeed, catapulting it across the room.
She
And
won't
then
catch it.
I shall-
As it arrives, she will merely give it wings, and it will flap round and stop itself from hitting the wall.
A good alteration. That's creative. And with that, I shall begin to cast something else. I shall make myself taller with let's say some lengthy dark hair, and transform my scales into red, and gain an appearance of an extra pair of wings, and then proceed to also levitate myself above the floor.
Did you cast an illusion spell?
No, that was actually
Oh, is that alter self?
self. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking it was disguise self.
It isn't disguise self. It's alter self. Yes, indeed. That's
She will look
an
at you. An excellent demonstration. Unfortunately, you did answer one of my questions wrong. That's a brilliant.
That was on the
Removal
The,
of curses.
transmuter stone, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't had the chance to experience any of these. It's beyond my level to actually have my own stone.
Perhaps soon. We'll be experimenting with
Perhaps.
transmuted stones next year.
I'll be looking forward to it. No doubt I'll need one.
I'm sure you'll be excellent. Nevertheless, best of luck. And with that, she will dismiss you and ask you to send in your fellow student.
Okay.
As you exit, you will see Ziggy.
Go right on ahead, Ziggy. You got this.
Oh, I'm ready.
As she looks at you, welcome in, Ziggy.
Hello.
Can you tell me a property of a transmuter's stone?
Hmm. Unfortunately, no, I cannot. Outside of it's a stone.
Unfortunate. Nevertheless, have you prepared a transmutation spell for me today, Ziggy?
Yes, I have.
Are you likely to hurt yourself in the casting of it?
Nope.
And have you cast this spell before?
Yep.
Fantastic. Please proceed. Would you require any props?
I need a dump. Are there windows in the room, I'm assuming?
Yep. 2 windows looking outside.
I need you to put a dummy 90 feet away.
She'll open the window and she summons a little dummy just outside the window and then sort of pushes it and it flies backwards until it's approximately 85, 90 feet away.
Alright, and I'm going to cast Accelerate. Does more damage the further away
Yep.
the target is.
Indeed. And what are you accelerating?
This rock that I randomly found in this room.
So you sort of, what are you doing? You're throwing a little bit and then just going and accelerating it forward.
Yeah. It's gonna like, I'm gonna hold it up and it's gonna look like it's coming out of my, what's the thing called I have in my head?
Arcane
whatever
focus,
it's called.
circlet?
Yeah, circle.
All of the above.
Yeah, it's gonna look like it's coming right out of my, the main stone in the middle. It's just gonna like zoom out from it. But like, obviously I'm holding it there, but it just zooms out.
Excellent. Okay. And with that, she will look to you and, well, thank you, Ziggy. That's a brilliant. And best of luck with the rest of your exams.
See you later.
Bartholomew. I believe you have an enchantment exam. And a pink mouth on the door will tell you as soon as you arrive. Come on in, Bartholomew.
I will open the door and head on in.
Lady Vanya looks to you. And how are you doing today, Bart?
I'm okay. How are you?
Better than I thought I would be. But I'd be even better if you could make me laugh. Do you have a joke?
I do. Knock knock.
Who is there?
Doctor.
Doctor Who?
Exactly.
I'm not quite sure I get that one. Alas, I was never known for my intellect. Do you have a spell prepared today?
Yes.
Are you likely to hurt yourself in the casting of it?
No.
Have you cast it before?
Yes.
Good. Please proceed. Do you require any props?
Yeah, I will need I guess dumb. I'll need something that can make an intelligence save.
She summons a small animal, a puppy, that somebody's seen before. And it looks at you with sort of wonky eyes. It doesn't look like it's very good at intelligence saves.
I'll bend down and like scratch it under his chin, like, sorry about this boy, and then I'll stand up, and then
I thought you said I'll stand on it. Go on, carry on.
it across the room. There's your fucking enchantment. I'm gonna just like gently, well not gently, but just kind of nicely like wave my hand over and like above it, and 2 pink psychic daggers will hover over its head, and then it needs to make an int save, which I'm assuming you just
It's incapable. Yeah.
Yeah. And then as the puppy looks up to me and like puts its head to one side, that the daggers will dag into its head.
They do go through it.
I'm testing mind slip.
Yeah, and she looks at you and, well, it's a good job it was an illusion. That was an excellent casting. Enchantment has the ability to hurt, as we've just demonstrated, as well as to affect the mind, but does it have the ability to outright kill?
As in kill on the on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh, such a shame after such a wonderful demonstration, Bartholomew.
You
I-
can't.
Unfortunately, the most powerful of words in the enchantment spell.
Yeah, power word kill. Go fuck yourself.
Yes, an enchantment spell. But I can understand that you're more interested in the less violent means of enchantment. Perhaps you might tell me this. Is there a way to protect yourself from that spell?
Yeah, by having more than 100 health.
What would you respond to her?
I would say, if you have the vitality for it, you can overcome many things.
But once you are reduced to a state where you are susceptible to it, is there any way to defend from it?
No,
Very well.
or at least not yet.
Good answer. What did you think of Duke Lagon's words yesterday?
Is this part of the test? Well, God, what did he say?
You wouldn't know, you weren't there.
Oh yes. Wait, I wasn't. Oh yeah, you're right.
You
I was
didn't
only at the
go.
funeral. Unfortunately, I didn't go to the midnight mass. I didn't think it was my place.
Were you no friends with her?
I didn't know her personally. No.
Understandable. Well, thank you for being so open, Bartholomew. It's an E for exquisite. I know you got one question wrong, but different parts of the same test. Perhaps
Thank you.
showed you
Would
interests.
you mind telling my transmutation teacher that?
No, I would not deign to tell the Lady Grace anything in the way she grades her students. She's been here far longer than I. Nevertheless, please, have a good day.
Thank you, Professor.
And we shall move over to Zas. Zas,
Yes.
you arrive at your illusion exam. And see Farlock's door has been adjusted slightly. It appears to be completely surrounded with balloons. He looks out and... Ah!
Celebration.
Zas, please come in.
Yes. Why the balloons, Professor?
I like balloons.
Okay.
He looks at you and... Well, I have a question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
What is the meaning of an illusion to you? What does illusion mean?
Something that is a figment of someone's imagination or someone's own conjuring. Yeah,
Indeed.
it is an illusion.
If you believe in an illusion, can it hurt you?
With certain spells, yes, it can hurt you.
Indeed. Do you have a spell prepared for me today, Zas?
I do.
And in the casting of it, are you likely to injure yourself or anyone else?
Impossible.
And have you cast it before?
Yes.
Very good. Please, do you require anything?
No.
Go ahead.
What's my mouse? Here it is.
You require
As
a
I
mouse?
stand there. No, sorry about that. Sorry, teacher. I don't know where that came from. I will extend my left arm as Tavium will walk down my arm and my all white scaled pseudo dragon, and I'll extend my right arm as another one. The exact copy image of it will show up on my right shoulder and begin to crawl down my arm. As it makes its way to my fingers, I'll just whisk it away, showing that it was solid image.
Thank you very much. Excellent performance. Exquisite. In fact.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And with that, we will move over to Aveltri. Aveltri, you have an abjuration exam. Standing outside the door is Gallus, the dwarf, and he looks at you. Ah, Veltria Innowen, correct? Please, come on in. I'm sorry to rush you a little bit, but do you have a spell prepared for me today, Veltria?
I do.
Excellent. Are you likely to hurt yourself with it?
Well, you'll be throwing something at my head, so
Ah, yes. It seems a lot of students seem to be asking me that today.
yeah.
I'm afraid it'll be something gentle, but, well, all in good spirit.
One object,
Are you prepared?
preferably. Yes.
With that, he will conjure a small flower into his hand, and then he will throw it at your
And
head.
I'll snap my hand up with the bracer with my focus on it, and there'll be a aura that comes out of it, and I will deflect the projectile and bat it aside.
Good. Excellent, in fact. Just a simple question. When you absorb the power of a spell, or perhaps the flame of a spell, what happens to the energy that you absorb?
Nothing if you don't choose to expend it.
But you can
Be able
expend
to-
it.
Well, physically. If you're into that.
Excellent, thank you. And exquisite. Good luck in your next exams, Veltria. Most appreciated. And we will flick over to Cadmus. Cadmus, you arrive at the door of Hadras, your
Evocation?
education teacher.
Yes.
A black portal on his door. He floats through it. Student, come in.
Okay.
Do you have a spell prepared today?
I do indeed.
Excellent. Do you require any props?
It'd be nice to have something to target, but
As you
preferably
say the
not a-
word target, he gestures and a target appears on the wall. Please go ahead.
one of my newly found favorites. I shall sling my hand forwards and shoot out a streaking dart that slams into the target and begins bubbling and melting away on it.
An excellent demonstration.
Acid arrow indeed.
Again, a destructive demonstration. But perhaps you could tell me if evocation can be used in any other manner, perhaps an interesting one.
Well, evocation is about the control of elements, so I'm sure it's possible to use evocation to invoke elements to protect rather than just cause harm.
This much is true, though not particularly interesting. And then he will speak into your mind, and he will say, "Is your mind an element?"
No,
Exquisite.
my mind isn't an element, but
You made it
that's...
pass.
Thank you.
He is trying to tell you that telepathy is an evocation spell.
Yeah, and can you
You
teach
can
me some of
respond.
that sometime?
Perhaps when you're a little more powerful.
I
Please
look
send
forward
in
to
your
it.
friend outside.
And I will do so. I'll step out.
As you come out, you see Veltria just rushing over from her abjuration lesson. And she stood outside.
Cadmus?
Hey, Veltro. Go on
Fancy
in.
meeting you here.
Yeah, we're doing this whole bumping into each other outside exams thing a lot. You've got it. You've
Have you
got it.
finished yours?
Yeah, I think I've got one more left.
This is my last one.
Good luck. You're gonna nail this. I know it. You got it.
Thank you. And I'll go in.
As you come in, Hadras looks at you and... Ah, the protege. Veltria, welcome. How are you doing with that cold problem?
I can't say I've improved much. I try.
That you do. Tell me, Which element of evocation do you appreciate the most?
I should think that'd be clear. Fire.
Indeed. Today in your demonstration, I'm going to put you under a little bit of pressure. We'll not be asking you any questions. Do you have a spell prepared today?
Yes.
Is it likely to hurt you?
I won't say it's impossible. Evocation is dangerous.
Yes, it is. Now, go ahead. And as he says this, he waves his hand, and the room begins to get very, very cold. Go ahead and cast your spell of Eldritch.
I will stand in the middle. Is he standing with me in the center of the room?
Oh, yeah. Right next to you.
Mm-hmm. I'll draw my hands together, create a small fireball, pull my hands apart so that it grows larger and larger, and then I'll throw it down onto the ground directly at our feet as it splashes out and avoids the two of us.
He puts his hand over yours gently, and the room warms up. Control is the most important aspect of evocation. You could be very powerful one day. Keep that in mind. Exquisite. And with that, she'll let you go. He will let you go. And we will move to Ziggy. You have an enchantment exam. A small pink mouth appears in the door, and Ziggy Lightfoot, come on in.
Hello, I'm here.
Yes, yes, you are. Come on, take a seat. I've got some cake. She hands you a plate with a small slice of chocolate cake on it.
I'm gonna bite it.
How are you doing, Ziggy? Don't talk with your mouth full. Sorry, that was mean of me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing a lot better now.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. But we could all be doing better. Have you got a joke you could tell me?
The school's track record with protecting their students.
She looks at you and raises her eyebrow. That was a little serious for you, no?
It was a joke. Ha ha ha.
Uh-huh. Have you prepared a spell today, Ziggy?
I have. I'm gonna phase run so that I'm behind her, and then I'm gonna cast, like, from like behind, I'm gonna cast suggestion on her.
She will allow it to work.
I'm gonna suggestion gives me an E for excellent.
And she smiles. Exquisite, Ziggy.
Yeah,
Exquisite. And not because you suggested it, but because that made me smile. Have a good day.
Goodbye.
And we shall flick over to Zas and Bartholomew, as the two of you stand outside the class of necromancy, waiting to be called in. No conversation? Okay.
I don't think they talk. I don't think they talk.
I don't think they talk either. But I just wanted to see. I wanted to give you the option. Layla pops her head out the door and... Bartholomew, come on in.
Hello, Professor.
Yes. I'd like you, Bartholomew, to answer a question for me, if you would. When life is transferred from one person to another, is there a gain or a loss? Or is the same amount that is lost given?
It can be different.
Can it?
Got it.
I'm asking you, can it?
On a friend?
Yeah. Can I ask the audience? Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know, because you changed the rules on necromancy.
Have some confidence in your answer.
I think if you deal a certain amount of damage, they have to then roll for a certain amount of health. That's what I think, mechanically.
I
Breaking the
understand
fourth
what you're
wall.
saying. She
Because
looks at
like
you.
you're not going to get the same amount of life from killing a plant and putting that in a person.
Agreed. She
Okay.
looks at you. And you are correct. There is usually a balance of sorts, but the numbers themselves can be uneven. Or how does one measure life? And if you answer hit points, I might hit you. Nevertheless, she looks at you and have you a spell prepared today, Mott?
Yes.
And do you
This is
require any
necromancy,
props?
right?
It is. Do you require
Okay.
any props?
Yes. I require, for a lack of a better word, victim.
Indeed. And she will summon what appears to be a
Still pick up
golem of
Sarah.
some sort. It's
I was kind of hoping for the puppy again.
wrong class, I'm afraid. This is an unthinking being, but it definitely has life.
It's machine.
No, it's made of flesh.
Oh, it's a.
It's a flesh golem.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
So it
I'm
should
gonna.
be.
Okay. I'm gonna stand opposite it.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna summon my staff. Because I've not actually used this one before. And I'm going to point it at the shadow that the flesh golem is casting. And then the shadow like jolts and jolts again, and then like almost becomes like 3D, like it stands up next to like behind the flesh golem, and then it needs to make a wisdom save.
It is incapable of a wisdom save, which is why I
Okay,
chose that.
then
first.
the shadow version of the flesh golem like creates a shadowy dagger and stabs it in its chest. That's me
Nice.
crafting anime shadow.
It dissipates into dust, and she looks at you. Excellent. A good display of magic. Exquisite, in fact. Best of luck, and please send in the student outside.
Thank you, Professor.
No problem.
And then as I walk out,
I'll just walk right in.
sure, that works for me. Good.
They
I don't have
pass
to
each other,
see
no
them.
words spoken. You are Zas.
Teacher.
Talented. But ambitious too. Tell me, why do you pursue necromancy so ardently?
It is the study of preserving life and the balance of life and death. My people do not live long, so I wish to see them prosper. I've seen many come and go, though some are usually cut down before they are able to live a full life. I just want to help future generations.
Indeed. Sorry, I'm getting really tired.
It's fine.
And she looks at you. Is the life of a plant worth more than the life of a human?
What?
Is the life of a plant worth more than the life of a human? It's not a trick question, Zaz.
Hey. What does this have to do with anything? It's...
It has everything to do with everything. You seek a
A
way
life.
of extending the life of your people. I must ask you a question first. Is the life of a plant worth more than the life of a human? Or a lizard folk, if you prefer me to be more direct?
Me, it is.
She walks you to the window, and she gestures out to where there is a small grove of trees. A minute. That's what it will grant you. A minute. I could show you the magic right now. You could draw life from the trees and extend your own. But those 7 trees would give you a minute. Don't lose yourself in your pursuit for a different fate for your people, Zas. I've seen others go the same way. I hope that you find more in your studies than wizards before you. Better ways. More effective ways, for that matter. Anyway, enough of that dark subject matter. Have you prepared a spell for me today, Zas?
It's at that point Zas is a little this is probably the first visual show of frustration on his face. So as she says, do you have a spell prepared? As he turns, like as I turn, my hand will flick and the wall will be destroyed by chill touch. It'll claw through the wall.
She looks at you. I understand. But one of my closest friends to date was a lizard folk who lost himself trying to find the answers in necromancy. He pursued lichdom. In the end, many died for him to live forever. I always caution the lesser-lived races that it's not that some things should be, or that some things are. But some things most definitely should not be. The arts of necromancy can be great. And they can do wonderful things. But there is a darker side, don't forget it, Sass. Exquisite. As you knew you would achieve. Please, go. Send in the next student.
Who do I pass on the way out?
You will come out and see Ziggy outside.
You may go.
Did you fail? It looks like you failed.
I'll keep walking.
Definitely got to.
Ziggy, as you enter,
Definitely failed.
there is a skeleton walking around the room. She looks at you.
Oh no, kill
Hello,
it.
Ziggy.
Hello.
My last student today.
Well,
Tell
save the
me.
best for last.
This skeleton was raised with necromancy. Is it possible to absorb life from it?
Yes. You can tell that look on my face, it was a total guess.
Mm-hmm. She looks at you. I don't know either. It's worth experimenting on, right? With that, she crumples it into bones. Tell me, do you think that the raising of the dead is an acceptable practice, Ziggy?
If you have the right reason to.
Do you have a spell prepared for me today?
Well, I only know one spell, so here goes nothing.
I hope that's one spell of the necromancy type.
Yep.
Otherwise, it has not been a fruitful year. Please, go ahead.
Gonna cast false life on myself.
As she sees you sort of strengthen and become slightly more vital and full of vitality. Oh. Well done, Ziggy. It is my pleasure to reward my last student with a exquisite.
That was the easiest test of the day.
I'm glad. Good. And with that, we will move over to our lovely friend Bartholomew. As you approach your last exam of the day, Grace stands outside the door. She looks to you. Ah, Bartholomew, I was just reading your reports here. You study conjuration most closely, do you not?
I do.
I'm sorry I haven't had the pleasure of teaching you this year, in conjuration at least. But, if you wouldn't mind, could you demonstrate your abilities for me? And
Yeah.
don't do anything that would hurt yourself.
Okay. Are we in a classroom?
You are?
Okay. Right.
I don't know why I answered
okay.
in her voice, but go on. Carry on, as you are.
What?
I answered that you were in a classroom with her voice as if you'd asked the question in character. Carry on.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand next to her, and face the other side of the room, and I'll summon my staff in my left hand, and then I'll raise with my right, and as I do, this this sphinx statue like rises from the atop the other side of the room, and then the jaw of it drops down, and sand just like rushes out. Both me and her have to make dex saves.
She will succeed.
She'll still take half, but
Because Grace is a bad bitch.
and I'll also succeed, so we won't be knocked prone. But we'll still take half of. So we'll take 7 bludgeoning damage, already halved, as the sand hits us.
Very well. She looks at you and... I wonder if you might perform a task for me.
Okay.
Do you think you could summon a mirror for me?
Sure. I'll use my minor conjuration to summon a head mirror.
And she looks at it and turns it to you. The arts of divination are multiple, Bartholomew. Gestures of the future and cups of tea is one thing. But the arts of scrying are a little more practiced and a little more accurate. This is your friend, is it not? And she gestures towards the mirror where you see a Veltria.
Yeah, she's my friend.
Standing next to a Veltria are 2 young boys. She gestures towards them. That's Elliot. That's Nathan. Your friend, she has occasionally been known to lose control, correct?
She has a fiery personality, yes.
And a dark history. Next year, you'll be going with Furlock to a place that is very cold. On a quest to understand your magics a little better. Your friend is going to struggle a lot in that time. The bonds of friendship are amazing. They can do many things. Your report here says that you can occasionally be one to joke around, play a prank, but that you're a talented wizard.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
No, I'm quite sure you don't. But they say that you're a talented wizard. And a good friend. And then she'll turn the mirror over, and you'll see a Veltria coming out of her most recent exam. A small smile on her face. She did well. I'm not going to tell her till next year where we're going. But I would ask that you support her. It's not going to be easy.
Of course.
Tell me, if I am currently controlling a beast that I have summoned, and I wish to summon another, what happens to the first one?
If you don't have the power to concentrate on 2 summonings at one time, the other creature will either cease to exist, or, depending on what you summoned, will will regain its own free will.
Hmm. The power to concentrate on more than one spell at once. Only a rumor, you know. Interesting that you should mention it. Anyway, it's an exquisite pass on me. Clearly a good student. I hope that your other exams have gone well.
Everything has been exquisite. My transmutation question, my teacher didn't even know the answer to, but whatever.
She looks at you. Might I remind you that I teach more than one subject? You're talking to your transmutation teacher.
This is a hint. Please recount the score.
Unfortunately, it's within the guidelines. Nevertheless, know that you have performed admirably in most of your exams. I look forward to seeing how you guys do next year. The house of Lord Lagon is the house that I was in myself as a student. I didn't have to attend while members of the household were in the house. Can't be easy. Anyway, I'll see you soon. And
Thank
with
you,
that,
Professor.
we will move over to Cadmus.
Oh, I wanted to say something about
Oh, sorry. Go on, carry on, bud.
I was going to say, thank you, Professor. I'll try not to let the stain of one brilliant dissuade me from continuing to be the best.
And we'll flick over to Cadmus. Cadmus, as you stand outside the classroom, Karina calls out, Cadmus Golden Skin,
Yes.
come on in.
Okay.
Tell me, Cadmus, is divination an art that interests you?
Do you want the political answer or the blunt, honest truth?
I didn't ask you because I wanted you to lie. Most of my students lie about what they see and their portents. I want the truth.
Honestly, no, it really doesn't.
Good. Thank you for your honesty. Please, stare into this crystal ball. Tell me what you see.
Before you do so, can I ask you to do one thing for me?
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull a little something that's let's just say something small carved of wood, something that I'm very familiar with, and hand it to her. Could you go right ahead and just hide this somewhere where I
She
don't know?
closes her hand over it, and it disappears. Yeah.
And it's not in her hands.
No.
Just as a demonstration of something else within divination, I would like to attempt to concentrate and locate the object.
It glows in your pocket.
Put it back into my pocket.
She did.
I'll put it out of my pocket, and
Yes,
I'm
divination.
not sure how you managed to do that, but
Multi-level magic. Now, if you would, the crystal ball.
of course.
And as you look
I'll gaze
into
in.
it, Cadmus, you see an image of 5 of you out on the ice, far north. You're being led by
Is that-
Furlock, and behind the group are 12 battle mages. 2 of them carry the body of a Yuan-Ti girl, which you think might be Cassandra.
What?
With her hands in the ice, you see Aveltria knelt. Her hands placed on the ice and cracks rippling out in all directions. As you recount this image to Karina, she will place her hand over yours and pull you away from the crystal ball. Do not dismiss the arts of divination, just because they are not something you find come easily. You may go. And you may put,
I feel like you've changed my mind on this one.
you may
Thank
put
you.
an exquisite on your grade card. Send in the last student.
Okay.
As you leave, you will see Zas standing outside.
Well, you're up, Zas.
As you come in, Zas, she looks at you. Many students think that both my art and myself are a joke. Do you know that to master divination, you must master plenty of other magics first?
Yes.
And even then, it is the only art that nobody can truly master. Tell me, Zaz, have you ever used a device such as this? And she shows you sort of a bowl of scrying water with unusual herbs all around the outside and a censer at the front that you would know to be part of the lizard folk religion. Though you probably have not used one. No, I can't guarantee it.
I have not.
The use of narcotics in the lizard folk culture are varied at best. However, some of them are used to allow one to dream, to think.
Yes.
Look into the bowl. With that, she puts her hand across it, and you see your parents. Think of a memory of the past. A good one, a pleasant one. And as you do so, the image will appear in the bowl. And as you wonder what the point is of all this, you look up. Karina is looking into a mirror on the wall, looking deep in thought. She turns to you. This morning, one of my students had a vision of their own death. I couldn't face letting people look freely into the future. Frankly, how do I judge them? I don't know if it's true. Half my students make it up when they come in anyway. Can I teach you something, Sis?
Certainly.
And with that, she will gesture towards a small crystal ball on the side of the room. She says, this is a useful device, and one that allows us to achieve many things. But most importantly, it can be used for useful magics. And with that, she will teach you an incantation. It takes 10 minutes to cast. She'll write it down for you and hand you a scroll for it later. But for now, as you look into it, you see your parents right now. Aging. Aged, almost. And she's teaching you clairvoyance. You can see them, but you can't hear them. After letting you watch for a few minutes, I'll tap you on the arm.
Yes, Professor.
You got an exquisite in your exam. I know. Like I said, you can't grade people for what they can and can't see or what they believe. But you can still teach them worthy things. Your exams are done.
Thank you.
And she, as you leave, if you turn back, you see her just covering her crystal ball slightly, putting things away. She looks pensive but sad.
Can I say anything? Like, can I, like...
Only that she is very upset. And with that, as you return to the common room, and you see your friends all sat down, Hannah comes up to you. Hey, it was harsh yesterday. We all have our different ways of understanding things. Somebody left this for you. She hands you a book. As you open it, a note falls out. You might want to seek the alchemists of Kavan.
So good.
And it's signed from Layla, your necromancy teacher. What she's given you is a book on abjuration. Methods of extending one's own life. Using herbs and tonics. And as Zas ponders this, Cadmus wonders about his vision that he saw, but perhaps pensive as to why he was told about Aveltria. Goodness only knows what's going through Ziggy's head. As you all look around the common room, Aveltria is not there. Because Aveltria, you've been called to a meeting with Gallus, the headmaster. Yes, he's the headmaster. Just double check. I was just wondering if I told you guys that today. I was only just like, wait, did I say this? Yeah. He calls you in and tells you to sit down. It's come to my attention, Aveltria, that Master Hadras thinks you're a protege, a particularly talented student. However, the House Lagon were assigned to a particular expedition. It is my understanding that you came across what may be the last of the Moon Elves in your expedition. And Furlock thinks he may know of somewhere that there might be further information. However, it is in the Garrick Northlands, a continent far north of here. It snows all the time and it's always freezing cold.
She just goes very, very pale.
It is in my interests to warn you of this. As you know, the school is taking a different turn. And we want people to be well and to be safe. However, it is also my personal view that fears are to be overcome and emotions are to be understood, managed and dealt with, not hidden from. I think you should go, but I'll leave that decision in your hands.
Yes, sir.
I look forward to seeing you next year, Aveltria. Enjoy your holidays. And with that, he nods and gestures for you to leave. And as Aveltria returns to the common room, I'm afraid that is where the first chapter of Academy of Shar will end. So, in timeless tradition, before we come to our MVPs, I think we know who did particularly well in their exams. Unfortunately, the transmutation teacher ruined his dreams. However, I do want to come to each of you. And before your MVP, I'd like to ask you if there is a subject that was not your chosen subject that you particularly enjoyed this year. And I will come first to he of the brilliant transmutation. Bartholomew.
I'm so mad about that. What, when we had sessions where we were in lessons, what lessons did I like?
Either in a lesson or in the exam, or even just because of the teacher, was there a particular subject that you enjoyed that you thought maybe, I could have taken that?
What, as a subclass?
Yeah. Or just, as a spell that, you liked some of the flavor of it.
Well, I quite like divination.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't particularly like divination spells particularly.
Mhm.
But I quite like divination as its premise.
Yeah.
The premise of it. And I quite liked the lessons and tests for it. So probably divination.
Okay. Matt. Ziggy. Was there a subject that Ziggy enjoyed this year? That wasn't
Yes,
illusion?
conjuration. Although that kind of is like another version of illusion
Yeah,
in a weird way.
Bartholomew flipped between the two, so I can really see how the two are linked. But yeah, I think Bartholomew definitely suits Ziggy's nature as well.
Yeah, I like that.
Cadmus.
Yes.
Was there a class of magic that you particularly enjoyed this year, or particularly an exam you particularly enjoyed, or that intrigued Cadmus? That wasn't transmutation, obviously.
Yeah, I would say in general, abjuration's pretty interesting.
The art of defense.
Yeah, shockingly enough, yeah.
Veltria.
Also there was one
yeah,
other thing
go
as
on.
well. And I know I said for Cadmus in the exam, divination was just uninteresting, but
Mhm.
it's not that divination was uninteresting, it's just the bullshittery was uninteresting to him.
Yep.
Whereas actual divination itself for him,
Mhm.
more so. But it's just not seeing it in the reflection of everything else around him, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. Agreed. Veltria. Was there a particular subject that interested Veltria that wasn't evocation this year?
I've always been fond of conjuration.
Yep, no, I can agree with that. I think that is a good one. And what about you, Zaz?
Necromancy, most definitely. When Layla first showed up, and she's being all evil for a second, but she's like, whatever, fuck it. That's not really what it's about. I thought that
However,
was pretty cool.
Necromancy is obviously your school. Was there a particular one that wasn't your school that stood out?
I think probably divination. Because in terms of like wizards I like to play, I fucking love playing a divination wizard. So yeah, probably divination. Also, that character for her, she was awesome. So
She's
yeah,
good, isn't she? Yeah.
I would listen all day. I would listen. I would never stop listening.
Good. I'm glad. So MVPs. Let's go sideways. Cadmus. Jamal. MVP.
Oof. The reveals of the whole things, the battle mages and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Both the moments of Furlock giving the announcement and the vision as well with that.
Yep.
And the
And
yeah,
okay, go on then.
also the next one as well that I have to mention is headmistress getting booted the fuck out. That was a moment.
Yeah. Alora.
I would have to give it to ridiculously serious Zaz popping into the enchantment classroom and telling a spot remover joke. I'm so glad I was muted because I just started dying laughing.
It was brilliant. Yeah, and it was so like I loved the absolute shock when I was like, tell a joke, and he was just like, what? Yeah, that was brilliant. Speaking of which, Kira, MVP.
I like the little relationship between Hedda and Zaz. Even though if you had asked what did Zaz see in the crystal ball or the sparring pool, he was going to see Hedda's death.
Yeah, I didn't let you anywhere near that shit. I don't know what you're like.
Just to give Zaz something to really care about, because I would say that out of everyone, he's most closest to Hedda. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think if anyone were to die, other than like short of his family, that would be the person he'd probably be most affected by.
If you look in the crystal ball in real life, you'll find out that Zaz dies long before Hedda.
Well, yeah, of course.
She's my B. Josh, your MVP.
Mine is gonna go for Alora's nod to Bryson in Eveltra's test.
Yeah. It wasn't evocation, it was abjuration,
Illusion.
right? It was illusion. Yes, it was illusion. That's it. Yeah, I remember. Matt, your MVP.
I'm gonna give an overall like full chapter MVP to back to when we were in the what's it called, the memory. That's the overall MVP. But for today, I'm gonna have to give it to you throwing in right at the end that the siblings are getting thrown in with us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That was a bit of fun. They're necessary for next year, so I thought, why not?
I'm hoping to have a future roommate.
Oh gosh. Which one?
Yes.
Dias, absolutely.
My MVP was Laura's we've only had one lesson, or it feels like we've only had one lesson. That gave me a good chuckle. Well, it's better than the original writing of the chapter where you didn't have any lessons. Yeah, the chapter got a four-week expansion because Josh decided we should have lessons.
Josh.
It would have been the expedition fleshed out a bit more, and the end of year sports day. And my god, that would have been a shitty episode to end on, wouldn't it? So I'm glad it didn't. Yeah, and also to Ziggy's requiring a random person to then stab with guiding bolt.
I
To
actually
then
wanted
heal.
that to be I wanted that to be Bartholomew, but there was no students around.
That
So-
poor random commoner guy just got summoned in, mouth sewn shut.
Stabbed with guiding bolt, and then healed up, and then left, and then crumpled into dust. Yeah, it was beautiful. I've enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. This chapter. The Academy of Shar was never meant to focus on the school element of Wizard School, because quite frankly, I hated fucking school, like, so much. The idea of revisiting it, even in any premise, is like, no. But this was good. I mean, it's a tribute to our table that it's always going to be good. I don't think it matters what we do. We could gather for a group of chess. Have a group game of chess and we'd all have a good laugh.
With this table, I think,
Yeah.
hell yeah, would we?
But in general, I've enjoyed this chapter more than I thought I would. I can't tell you whether to look forward to chapter 2 or whether to look forward to Drathnor Keep, because frankly, we're about to discuss it. Nevertheless, it goes for me to say thank you to you guys for making it such a wonderful chapter and so enjoyable. And yeah, if you guys would like to say goodbye,
Until next
Goodbye.
episode,
Bye.
whenever that is.
we shall see you soon.